hilarious.
Oh yeah, I just realized Nene can hear me. Okay, that's why I'm like, why does Nene sound so weird? Because I'm hearing it from your guys. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a huge like that's why I think. So weird. I'm hearing it from your guys. Oh yeah.
So my Teams is muted, so it's not coming from me. Mute yours real quick and tell Drew to start to say something. It's just that. So my Teams from the muted, so it's not coming from me. Mute yours real quick and tell Drew to start to say something. It's just that. My Teams from the muted, so it's not coming from me.
Hi, Drew. Can you continue
Mute your
talking
mic.
one more time? Because I think we got
I think I heard someone say continue talking, but I have like the highest level of feedback that's going on right now. It feels like there's a fire alarm in my living room right now. I think I heard
because what's happening is it's playing audio, that's picking, and
Hi,
it's,
Drew. We're back. Are you still hearing that?
so now we got to go out. We have to go out. We have to go out and hear it because what's happening is it's playing audio, that's picking.
Hi, Drew. We're back.
See how it looped? So now we got to go out. We have to go out. We have to go out and hear it. What's happening is it's playing audio, that's picking. Turn yours. Oh, because you in headphones. So you should. Okay. Yeah. Because this is mine. Turn yours. Oh, because you in headphones. So you should. Okay. Yeah. Because this is mine. Turn yours. Oh, because you in headphones. So you should. Okay. Trying to let it pass real quick. Shannara, if you can hear me, I'm trying to let it pass.
You're fine. It's just that your screen is very small.
Oh yeah, I just because it's just a this.
But I heard it was actually.
Shannara, if you can hear me, I'm trying to.
When I was leaving the room, like the delay, I could tell it was working fine.
Oh yeah, I just because it's just a this.
But I heard it.
Shannara, if you can hear me, I'm trying to.
I don't know if anyone's saying
It's all the way
anything.
down.
Oh yeah, I just because it's just a. Let me do this too. I'm gonna come out of Teams real quick just to make sure that that's not causing this loop because I'm still hearing a loop. Something is causing it. Let me do this too. I'm gonna come and I think it might be my Teams just to make sure that that's not causing this. Because I'm still hearing a loop. Oh, if something is causing it, too boring.
Should I come out?
And I think it might be
I'm
my
not
Teams.
supposed to be hearing anybody.
No, keep it because we're using yours too.
Because I can't hear anything.
I'm gonna come out.
I'm not supposed to be hearing anybody.
No. Oh, I can't because they're sharing my screen with them. Because I'm muted. I'm actually muted though. Let me see. I think this might. This might actually be the issue right here. Hold
If
on.
you're muted, how is it?
I'm muted. I'm actually muted though. Let me see. I think this might.
You're not muted in Teams?
This might actually be the issue. I'm muted in Teams.
That's what was happening on my Teams. When I muted, it was still picking up. Which is crazy because it never does that.
I'm muted in Teams. If I leave, I'm gonna leave with
I
them.
just love you.
I'm gonna leave with them too. Just I want to see first because I wasn't getting this earlier. Like all of a sudden, it's just this serious.
So many microphones. Yeah, I've gone.
I want to see first because I wasn't getting this earlier. Like all of a sudden, it's just this serious. Still doing it.
turned everything off. Turn my laptop off because or maybe it's picking up something.
But if you're in mute, it shouldn't pick up anything.
It shouldn't, but it was. That's when you remember it started.
So, you know, hey, you know what? Let me see. I wonder if it's this speaker looping back to the mic. You see what I mean? Because like we got the mic right here, but these speakers are playing.
What's
Right?
that
We
over
gotta hear
there?
it.
Right. What's that over there?
Oh, that's my iPad.
That's not on.
No feedback at all. Can you go with your phone and see? Because I have zero feedback right now. And can you ask Drew if he could?
Oh, that's the meeting. I'm gonna go back in. Hi guys. I'm sorry. Well, we were having some issues, a lot of feedback. Can you hear me? Tess, can you guys hear me? Sorry. Hi, I'm sorry. We've had to both leave the teams just because there was a lot of feedback and we're trying to figure out what's the issue. So hang on, just stand by. Go ahead and continue. Okay, Sam, do you want Drew to continue to stay on the Zoom?
I want him to stay on that call because
Okay.
that call is what we got to make sure that the audio is going
Okay,
out.
thank you, Drew. If you don't mind, can you just stay on the call for a little?
And tell him to just keep talking, singing, something.
Okay, and just continue talking to Nene, like you guys go ahead and carry on your conversation. I'm gonna put myself on mute until we figure this out, and I think we're very close. So go ahead and just leave the phone on. Thank you, and then okay, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you.
Ask him to say something.
He's on his.
Hey, Drew, can you hear me through Zoom?
Drew, can you hear Sam through Zoom? He was actually, he heard you, Sam, and he's trying to answer back. Could you hear him?
I couldn't hear him.
Okay, so he couldn't hear you, Drew, but I'm glad that you heard him. So we're pretty close. So okay. So we're testing a few things out. Go ahead and carry on. Sorry. Thank you.
The other part is this is a workaround that we're doing because basically it's supposed to come to a phone, right? And the phone plugs into this through a special cable, which I have, but I didn't bring it. And we wouldn't need to do it this way. What we're doing now is we're actually using the desktop app rather than on my phone. So that's why I think the audio situation that we're having is because not only are we pushing audio out through here, but then we're using the desktop app with the audio too. Normally it would be a separate thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, does that make it would be separate because the audio would be coming in, prime example, through the Zoom app here, through audio out into that. So the microphone goes into that. So when he's talking, that's what the audience is. He's talking to the guests. The guests hear him because it's going through the same thing. Now I'm taking the output of that and putting it into Restream so everybody can hear.
Yeah.
That's where I'm trying to fix this loop.
So, but on the event day, like the live day,
Mhm.
what are you going to be using to stream?
So if we're here, because in theory, I think Kyle was going to be at his home, but if we're here, all we would do, we would just be streaming it out. It would just have his audio. If he's here, I'm gonna have this mic, I'm gonna have the laptop, and that little piece of device. All this other stuff is extra to show options, but that's all we
So,
need.
Ideally, I think we should practice like everybody is where they're gonna be. Like I think if Kyle prefers to be remote,
Well, that's what.
Shannara hasn't.
Yeah, that's what I was saying though. You got to, but you need options. We got to test them all. So now, that's why we're testing this portion.
Right.
We're going on Friday. We'll be able to have him as a remote because he'll have his laptop. Kyle, go ahead and log in your laptop and do the same thing. You're just here.
Okay.
You're remote, but you're just here.
Yeah.
Physically, you're still using your same gear, right? Because he got his. I would assume he uses his laptop and the microphone.
Yeah. I think he got
Yeah.
So right now, the issue that we're having is we're not getting the output of Zoom.
Well, I'm trying to show you the issue we're having is I'm trying to show you guys at the same time. Like if we just stopped doing this and it was just this and then Drew, we're to be fine. But because I'm trying to show you, share the screen, do all of this, it's introducing other elements, and I'm trying to fix that. That's why it's not. You don't need all of this. It's just different options.
So it's just the Teams part of it.
It is the Teams part of it that's causing the problem.
So if we eliminate the Teams part of it, have Nene and Drew sign in as guests. You said, and since our role is going to be monitoring the social media sites, we're technically not going to be on Teams, right? As it planned, as we're going through it, how are we going to communicate with each other? Are we going to start a group in Teams, or how are we going?
So yes. So if we're all remote, we would be. Yes, in which actually you'll be back in Guam. So yeah, we'll be in we'll be in Restream. What I'm about to do is send out a link. Once we fix this audio loop here, it should be done in a second. That's why I'm almost there. Okay. But think about it, I gotta explain every step. So I'm trying to troubleshoot and then explain at the same time. Yeah. Once we get there though, it's just a link. I'm gonna text a link to you guys and you'll be able to come in through the Restream through that.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So all of you will be in the Restream. Your video won't be going out, but your audio will be there.
So I suggest that after you fix the issue, we get off of Teams, and then I'll explain to Nene and Drew that you're going to be sending them a link, and for Restream, and we'll all go in there since that's where we're going to be on live day, and then we'll work from there and see if we have any audio issues from there.
That might be best. You're right. That might work out better.
So I'll explain to them.
There, audio output.
Hi. Sorry to interrupt. So we are going to try this a different way. Right now, I think the issue that we're having is because Sam has his Teams on and he's sharing his screen as he's showing us the process of what he's doing with Restream and the Zoom call. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to get off Teams and he's going to send us the link to Restreamio, and we're all going to log in through that link since that's where we're going to be logging in on live day. And
a couple technical issues with the audio loop that I'm just trying to troubleshoot, but I think we got a result. We got a resolution.
Yeah, so
she's explaining to the rest of the team because they're remote.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I don't think so from what I'm hearing. But I guess if we get sent a link through an invite, an admin invite, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm about to send it to you guys in Teams.
So Sam said he's about to send us the link in Teams, and then from there, we are going to test it through Restreamio, and I guess on our end, Sam will share his screen.
It's what I was explaining to her. She's explaining to them. I'm trying to test and show at the same time, which is introducing other issues. So she's telling them to get off of Teams. I'm going to send. I just sent the link in Teams for for y'all to grab as if they were remote, because they would be coming in the
No,
back.
so
of
we
the
only ask
broadcast
that
and
you.
Do you want me to stay on
test as
YouTube?
a caller
Because I
we're
need to
here.
monitor that,
When
right?
we were
Because that's what's
testing as a
being
caller,
pushed
there was a lot
out.
of
I need
feedback
Drew to
since
be
we're in the
still
same
on the
room.
other one, because that's the only
And
way
so
we
that's the
can
only reason why
monitor
we
all of
asked
these
you to
different
call in,
scenarios.
so that we
Okay.
can
But at the
figure
same
out
time, I need
if
y'all to
the
see it.
feedback is coming from
While we're trying to.
the Zoom call
Yeah,
or
it's
just
just
because
Test it at the
we're
same
seeing-
time.
It's introducing
Yeah.
more.
So, but
more
if you could
issues, like
stay on as a
audio
caller,
loop, we were
and then
having an issue.
also
many
log
microphones
into
in the room.
Restream. And then we'll let you know whether to mute one or the other so that we could test the audio that's coming in. If that's okay. Okay. Okay, so
Hold on, Drew, where are you talking at? Because I'm picking you up.
he's on the Zoom call, Sam. He's still on the Zoom call.
But you're talking through your phone. So you came in through Restream. So are you in Restream talking?
Nene. Yeah, so go ahead and log off, Nene, and then click on that link. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay.
But you still have the
Thank you.
you still have the Zoom phone up.
That's how he's talking to you right now because I can't hear him through Teams.
That's where I think you're coming in at. I think I'm picking your audio up from the Zoom. I need to verify. All right, let's see if we're hearing anything out of that. From the Zoom. I need to verify. All right, let's see if we're hearing anything out of that. From the Zoom. I need to verify.
I do
All right, let's
just
see if we're
testing
hearing
right
anything
now. We only hear Sam's voice
So
coming into the Zoom call.
Why is
That
it
doesn't
looping
mean that
again?
you are still talking, so just continue.
Let's see if we're hearing anything out of
We only hear Sam's
that.
voice.
See, that's that mic.
Still talking, so just
See, that's that mic.
And then that mic.
I think that's what that is. My mic from my AirPods now is picking up also. It's killing me. The amount of entry, but I heard Drew clear as mud, but it didn't come through the stream. So
Drew,
I'm about to.
I'm
I
speaking
know
through
that audio from
I'm
Zoom.
speaking to you through Teams.
Let's
Can
go
you
to
hear me?
Zoom. Did it pop up? Okay, there it is. That's it.
Drew, can you just screen for
I need setting. Meetings, no. More.
Test. Drew, can you hear me?
Actually, let me just go to Zoom.
Drew, you're on mute. Can you hear me?
Huh.
Did we lose
Sure.
Drew?
You get feedback? Okay, just checking, just to make sure that you can hear me through Teams so I can convey any messages from Sam. He can hear you through the
That's
Zoom call. So
Zoom.
we can't hear you come in
Isn't
through
that
the
showing
Zoom
me
call,
the,
on the restream.
okay. See what it's doing? It brought it over here. Okay. Speakers should be going.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna log off Teams now since you can hear us through restream, and I'll go ahead and log in through there. All right, thanks.
To MacBook. I text you.
Maybe so
Nene.
nobody can hear her.
Nene, I text you. If you just stand by for a second,
Yeah,
please.
but is she in
She's
Restream
in
or is she in
Restream.
Teams?
Restream.
Okay. So she should be able to hear.
Ask Drew to can you ask her to stop?
Text. Stop.
I mean,
Oh, she said she can hear you though. I
she can hear me
think so.
Yeah, so
How?
through restream, they can all hear us now.
Yeah.
through Restream. Got it.
Yeah.
But they can't
So
say
yeah.
anything
So
yet.
Nene, please stop messaging.
Because it's throwing. I'm trying to get the
Throwing
audio.
Sam's
Right.
computer off.
Just for a second. Just for a second. Got to get step one. Drew, ask Drew if he could talk on the Zoom. You can hear me, Drew. Talk through Restream, please.
Should I turn mine up? Okay.
Mute your computer. Your mic.
I think it is. Should I turn mine up? Okay.
Mute your computer.
Are you getting feedback?
Your mic. I think it is.
Should I turn mine up?
Is that on?
This
As a guest?
I'm
You
on
know,
YouTube.
his mic is turned on too.
Yeah, it's my mic that's picking up the main audio.
His mic is turned on too.
Yeah, it's my mic that's picking up.
Is Drew?
All I'm trying, I just got to route this audio. It should be routed through here, meaning everybody's audio, right? Because right now my mic is the only thing that's going out because I'm telling it to use the P4 mic, right? For the Zoom call.
So you want the speaker turned on? Is that what you want?
Yeah, what I'm gonna do? Let me stop this. I think I got a solution real quick. Zoom 4, let's go in there. Take my mic from here off, which that is in settings here. Audio. Let that be the audio input comes from
said?
Oh, now I can hear.
No, give me 1 second, Drew.
Okay.
You hear Drew in it?
Oh, now I hear you and Drew. Oh, wait, I just
That's
heard
because
it.
it's probably coming through the phone call into my mic. Let me move that away.
Drew, can you tell Drew to restream?
How about now? Can you still hear me?
I can hear
I
both
can
of
hear
you.
you, Sam, but I can't hear Drew.
I just heard Drew.
What's the delay? You got a delay. How about now? Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, Sam, but I can't hear Drew. I just heard Drew.
What's the delay?
Yeah, the phone still works.
So Drew, you can hear me through your phone right now.
Yes.
Can you hear me on the live stream?
I
Restream.
can only hear
I can't
Drew.
go out. I can't hear.
I can only hear Drew because he's coming through the speakers and that's like projecting off your mic.
Can you guys just have Drew talk?
Hey Drew.
Drew, Sam and I are gonna stop talking for the next 10 seconds. Can you talk for the next 10 seconds?
Me? Through the Zoom?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Where was I at last time? I don't know, guys. 2 days of a conference, pretty long, right? That wake up this morning was a little difficult, I bet. But once again, I probably shouldn't complain about being tired in front of Michelle. I wonder if that's something. I wonder if any of our health partners can help me with feeling awake in the morning. I wish I could get 50 massages. Everybody always asks me if I would want to.
No, that's not right.
Isn't that embarrassing?
No,
That's
but
just-
it's this. It's projecting off of your speakers, so you need to make your speaker low, the volume. Turn the volume all the way down. So what's happening is it's picking up Drew's voice. Is he still talking?
Drew, talk some more, please.
Shining star all the way through. For the storytelling abilities. Shining star all the way
Just keep going. Plant in front of me.
Oh, God.
Okay. So now the only issue that I'm having right now is I have to bring in the audio. I'll put this in. Let's try that. All right, Drew.
Tell us another story.
All right, Drew, one more time, brother. Oh, I'm muted. Where the Zoom? All right, Drew, tell us another story, please. So now the output of Restream is what we would want to hear. But it should be going.
Oh, I didn't turn. I
I
turned it all the way
hear,
down.
I hear you, Sam, on restream.
I turned mine all the way down as well.
I can't hear Drew though. I hear you, Sam, on restream.
I turned mine all the way down as well.
I can't hear Drew. My restream is live, and I can hear us talking, but I can't hear Drew.
Go back here. It's coming in there. It's audio output. Should be. and go back to the default.
Question. Why don't I only see me if Drew and Nene are also on Restream and you?
That's because your camera's on probably, and you only see who?
Everyone is supposed to be logged
Yeah,
in.
I see them all here.
Oh, okay, so maybe we're not main producers. I don't.
Yeah,
see
no. Yeah, yes. So y'all came in through a link. You're a guest. You're not in under the normal restream log.
Producer. Gotcha.
Yeah. So y'all came in through a link. Drew is still talking, and we don't hear him obviously yet. Restream has to take his audio because his audio is playing on the speaker. So yeah, that's right. It's got to be from here. It can't be from here. So yeah, that's right.
I mean, the little microphone thing is jumping up and down, so he's probably still talking. What are you talking about? That's what
Turn it up.
I can't. So I mean I can, but I switched it. It won't let me till I change this.
I think he's talking about the plant that they put up and stuff. He's like,
By the time we get the plant on, it will be. Oh, it's Christmas.
Audio input would be from the MacBook. Audio output would be MacBook. And then from here, we select Zoom. All right, Drew, a couple more times. I'm sorry. If you're talking, keep going. All right, Drew, a couple more times. I'm sorry. If you're talking,
Interesting things to say. You know what I mean? That's
There
just.
he is.
Oh, is it working now? I've told 3 or 4 personal stories. You know what I mean? Oh, is it working now? Yeah, do you want me to
I want to. So tell them to keep going. I'm going to take. I want to hear this outside.
the button.
This one.
You turn up, yeah.
So
Okay, I'm going that. That's crazy because I don't know.
Talking about the fire art.
Can I recommend it
It's
for Chinese or you recommend it? Like,
Oh,
can
wait.
we all hear it? Like each of us?
I don't know. So, I don't know. I know you can recommend people for things, so I don't know if you can recommend them for the same thing.
Okay, I assume I'm supposed to keep testing, so I'm just gonna keep talking. So yeah, I can't remember the last time I heard
Oh, I can hear you. So, is this on?
winter feels like it was. Hello?
Yeah, we're still here, Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, Sam just went outside so he could.
hold on, guys. I need y'all to kind of pause because this mic. If I mute this mic, then I'm gonna mute him.
Okay.
So if y'all give me just
Sam just went
30
outside
seconds.
so he could. Oh.
30 seconds, because I can hear him, but I don't know if it's the mic. Maybe I'll turn this.
Sam just went outside so he could. Oh.
Yeah, that might work. Y'all can still talk, and I want to that mic. The speaker shouldn't be looking at.
You guys mind if I go on the table? I want to just check it out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
See, turning that down turned Drew down.
I don't know if he's still talking.
He is. No, but look, he is. Watch.
Oh, okay.
We'll be having our lovely speakers back. Ninja helping us out. Talking about the joints. We'll be having our code sign that's not work appropriate. And, all the lovely benefits you can have with
I'm about to find out real quick.
I'm really. Oh no, wait. All right, I thought my computer froze for a second. We don't need any more technical difficulties on our hands. I don't think so.
I can't tell That must be on his. Because I unplugged our.
There might be a way.
Drew, keep going for me for a second.
Okay. Well, I'll do something work related, I guess,
What's
if
that?
anybody's interested while we do this little test audio. What did I do today? We met with Clinical Care. It's Men's Health Month coming up.
Do I just need to
We're
plug it
gonna
back in?
send out
Yes,
some
you have to do that.
early cancer detection messaging from
This
Clinical Care co-branded with Afspa. We had some edits to make to their documentation. They wanted to send out the PDF. I think we're going to settle on an e-blast, and we're going to work with them so I can try to fit that into some email format.
Is that your mic?
One of the problems is they weren't co-branding enough, but we made sure that will happen because obviously we want everyone to know that Clinical Care is just one of the many benefits that you can get.
Where is that audio coming?
Is anybody else aware that you can get 15 times a year?
The mic on the MacBook? It shouldn't because I unplugged it.
I'm just gonna keep going.
No, this phone is just
Probably.
It's just a
Well, I can
Google.
see everybody.
It's picking my audio up as if
I
I'm
think
talking,
I'm
and I'm trying to figure out where that audio is coming
And
from. Do you hear
we
it?
are also
It
looking
shouldn't.
forward.
Here's the.
That's unplugged.
That's
a
unplugged.
webinar
There in my
with
case.
Care.
Where the heck is that
Trying to
audio coming from?
leverage
Here?
one of their executives in order to host a breast cancer webinar in Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which would be this October. Very conveniently, would also be right before open season. Isn't that great? I think that would be a wonderful opportunity to invite many prospects and hopefully capture as many emails as possible in order to reach out with them and follow up afterwards, especially if we see that there are highly engaged viewers.
That's crazy.
And from that standpoint, I think, that could be a big winner. Hopefully, one of many webinars that will be completed and that will promote. I have to move my mouse again. So I was I have to move my mouse again. So I'm this is a I have a random thought if I'm just gonna keep audio testing. Why did Snapple change from glass to plastic? I mean, I guess it's for recyclability, but
You see what it just happened?
immediately I was slightly disappointed. On that note, I'm gonna try to find some work related to talk about.
And I could just mute here, so your mic is just now connected to this device.
My mic is connected to that?
Yeah.
40% share of the open solution.
So now you know the area interference now, because I just muted, it's
However,
muted
it's important to know that it's a directional
The
metric.
mic is muted on
Yeah.
that.
on that, yeah.
As it was before, still can be used, just gotta account for that.
All right, so
Proportion calculator in mind. And, I'm trying to think about, oh.
the mic is muted on that.
Say watch math or use buttons that say down.
All right, so
Not just here. Some of the tips.
I think that's it.
it.
Because I don't hear any loop. You hear me talking over Drew, which is what's going to happen when people talk over each other, and it's going to sound like that.
People aren't used to watching video in email. So I think it was very intuitive. It's a great idea. Now, I'm going to go to Brandon and content. Brandon workshop.
See, he's talking, but I'm just talking over top of him. It's not an echo or.
Brandon is not your level.
You see what I'm saying?
She started it. And I thought that was just, quite enticing, a great hook for this meeting that made me really think, why is branding not my logo? In fact, because branding is more than that. It's the visual thought and the emotional feelings that a customer or an audience or any member or prospect might associate with your brand. That's why it wouldn't be the same thing as the logo. Isn't that great? Something about who, what, when, where, why. That's when it's clear there. Oh, the why.
Drew is a champ for this.
Why or the purpose or the
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Test. Drew, test. Drew, can you hear us? You can't hear us. Test.
But he can't
But
hear
he
us.
can't hear us.
You mean like an actual physical?
Yeah, like a first.
It's got a USB port. Yeah.
I was gonna. Drew, can you hear me?
Ooh, okay. Thank you, Drew. You've been a
about that?
champ. I mean, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Okay, no, what's your favorite dessert rather?
Hold on. We need to hear if his audio came through.
Thank you, Drew. You've been a champ. I mean, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Okay, no, what's your favorite dessert rather?
You can't hear.
I used to suggest that for testing purposes, we should have like multiple people
Call in.
to see if the delay is together or there's a difference between delays and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, Drew, can you? I know you. This is painful, bro. We almost finished, and I just need to see if you can. I can hear your audio through the stream. No. Through Zoom phone, not restream. Yeah. Hey, Drew, can you? I know you. This is painful. We almost finished, and I just need to see if you can hear your audio. You can mute us. I'm sorry. Because the MacBook is what is playing the audio. Watch, we get audio here in a second.
The issue is it won't come from the MacBook because you connected Bluetooth to that machine.
Because the MacBook is
Okay.
what is playing the audio. Watch, we get audio here in a second. So now understand though, look at what's happening, right? I'm telling it to take the input, so it's using the microphone on this Mac. I don't want to use a microphone. I just want to use the audio, meaning from Zoom, but you can't pick that. You got to go with whatever the default audio that's being pushed out. That's why I put it on MacBook, but that's not working. I just want to use the audio,
Oh, that was from the story.
meaning from Zoom, but you can't pick. Back to the Mac.
Safety, the model. And that was from the
From Zoom, but you can't pick.
MacBook hierarchy of needs. I felt as though
They
should
need to
have
hear us
running for
on
that person.
Back to the Mac.
Did we lose her?
From Zoom, but you can't pick.
Or rather, I felt as though basic needs, technological needs, and self-fulfilling needs.
You really did.
I feel like we can hear him on the stream.
You said you feel like we can?
We cannot.
Yeah, that's why. So he's coming in through the Zoom app, right? And the Zoom app is sending that signal. That's why. Let me pull it up so you can see what I'm saying. Come on. Yeah, that's why. So he's coming in through the Zoom app, right? And the Zoom app is sending that signal. That's why. It's over there. So you can see what I'm saying.
Oh.
It keeps throwing me off, right? I'm looking for it. Like, where's the thing? It's on the desktop. It's just over there. So this is where I was originally when we first was trying to make sure we heard Drew, right? Zoom app has, okay, where do you want to output the actual stuff? So I'm telling it the same system, which is
Hello?
here.
Take a break.
See that? You hear me?
Yeah, take a break, and then
All right, cool.
we'll let you know when we want you to start talking again. Thank you so much.
Thank
You've been-
you.
All right, I'm on the phone. Thanks.
It keeps throwing me off, right? I'm looking for it. Like, where's the thing? It's on the desktop. It's just over there. So this is where I was originally when we first was trying to make sure we heard Drew, right? Zoom app has, okay, where do you want to output the actual stuff? So I'm telling it the same system, which is
Hello?
You hear me?
All right, cool.
Thank you.
All right, I'm on the phone. Thanks.
That's it. Right? All right. So you still be off, right? I'm looking for it. Where's the thing? It's on the desktop. So it just picked up my mic, which has to be restream. I'm trying to pull restream. And that's up there, of course. Where do you want to output? That's why I actually so I'm telling you the same system.
All right, cool. All right, I'm on the phone. Thanks.
That's it. Right? All right. So you still be off, right? I'm looking for the thing on the desktop. So it just picked up my mic. Hey Drew, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do me a favor. Go ahead and talk a few more seconds. I just want to make sure I'm getting it on the stream. You can mute that. They do say that, Drew. Hey, Drew.
Yo,
You can hear me nice and loud?
yep, I can hear you.
They do say that, Drew. Hey, Drew.
Yo,
You can hear me nice and loud?
yep, I can hear you.
Got it.
They
So,
do say that,
so,
Hey, Drew.
so, okay, Drew, I wanna, yeah, turn your, I was gonna say, turn it down. I wanna see if we can have a conversation and see how that's gonna sound on the stream, because obviously we can hear you and your audio is going out on the stream. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
And it sounds crystal clear, because we can hear you loud and clear. There's no echo. Everything sounds good on this end. All we're trying to do is make sure that that is what's going out on the stream, but we had to, it's like a lot of loops going on. So let me step out real quick, because it should have
Yeah.
caught up 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You
You
can do that.
want, you want Drew to keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll just keep on.
If you can keep talking.
I can't hear anything on the stream.
Mine has a little longer delay than his does.
Might be a delay.
Yeah.
Well, I can keep yapping. Keep yapping. I wonder, where did the IT department move? Are they a couple cubicles down? What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
Kind
Yeah.
of curious. Am I supposed to be having conversations? Am I supposed to hear something?
We can hear you, Drew. I don't know if we're supposed to be talking though.
Oh,
He just wanna make sure,
Can
how,
you hear us, Drew?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear it. What I can't tell, let me see if you could tell if that is his.
Coming from the
Yeah,
speaker or
speaker,
him?
or because it's too, it's a lot, it's loud, it's too many voices going, and I can't determine if it's the
I gotta go further away.
the mic or, because no, even now, like, Drew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, you listen, I got it. I just wanted to make sure, because right now we got you on a desk phone or a desk mic, and
I can't hear him here.
I just want to make sure that, and please bear with us, because again, we're streaming, so we can hear you. We had to fix what we can hear you now, but then we got to check the live stream, which has a delay. So that's why it's like, just have a little patience, please. Can you check and see if that's how his audio sounds? So keep talking, Drew. I just want to make sure your audio is not being picked up by a feedback loop.
Slice it really thin. Then you want to chop it up and dice it. Do the same thing with slicing mushrooms. Lay that down on a bed of oil. Put it on about, low medium. And you just want it to simmer. You don't want it to burn and crust, but just when you start seeing the water come out of that mushroom, that's when you good sizzle, good. Start tossing in carrots and your harder vegetables, onions. From that point, you just start sauteing, right? You gotta give it some work. Hopefully you got a wok at home, and they call it a wok because you gotta work. Put that back where I go. You don't want it to settle too long, or else, that's just not how you're for the special. You're supposed to get your wok piping hot so that you can eat the oil coming out. Isn't that fantastic? After that, you might want to add herring, tofu, you chicken, pork, seafood, whatever you'd like. And then I would prepare doing a light seasoning, maybe white pepper powder is more beneficial than black pepper, cracked, and then some kosher salt for the larger pieces, the personal preference. And if you're doing a seafood one, you could try using a dashi stock mix, very slightly mixing that in with your fried rice. And the best rice to use is day-old rice. And I don't think that they use that. I think they made a fresh rice. It was very, very, I think because that got a little mushy. The good thing about the day-old rice is that it's dry, so that it absorbs not water, but also flavor. Now, I just think that that's just people wouldn't be aware of, I guess, if you're in the catering business. I'm not sure why. Yes, I would finish it off there. Excuse me. Plenty of other seasons you can use, but that's all personal choice. But you do need soy sauce. Don't go for the low sodium. You want to go hard to go home, okay? And they spent hundreds of years making fried rice without the low sodium.
Same interface.
Fortunately, I only. Hello? Oh,
I think you can do that.
I am. You see me back with my mask on, and you heard me real easy,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm about to do, I just want to, because what we're doing is we hear you, right? It sounds good, but we got the mic on in here, and so anybody in here that talks,
So that's what I was about to say. When you came in here and before you had turned this on, then they said she couldn't hear anymore.
Yep.
And then when you came, she was like, "You're back."
Yep. And that's what I was telling him was as soon as I mute that,
Mhm.
it shuts out the whole audio going because the system's audio for Restream where it's pulling is based off of that now.
Okay.
What I want to try to do though, Drew, is I'm gonna switch to this mic, right? For Kyle and see if it makes you still sound well, because what I think is happening is because that mic and the speaker is activated,
Mhm.
and it sounds. We can hear you through the stream, but it just sounds a lot horrible than how I hear you right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I just want to check that real fast.
It's
In the
just
hurry.
different from what you hear from the MacBook
Mhm.
than the live
Not as
stream.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're trying to get that issue resolved.
Okay.
Mic input right. So bear with me 1 second, Drew.
But
Can I
I'm
keep
also
going?
sure that it would be different if he were using.
You can stop
if he
for a
was
second.
Using the headsets.
Yeah, but remember, he's not Kyle. He's acting as a guest.
Yeah. So he's actually using this.
So they're gonna call in.
Mhm.
Is who that guest. So through Zoom app, if somebody
I
calls,
see. I see.
you see what I mean? This is Kyle.
Okay.
This would be
So
Kyle.
we are Kai right now.
Yes, we're Kyle. He's actually the guest.
A member.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like calling like they would call from their cell phone.
Okay.
So let me see if I can switch the input from here. Audio input to Zoom.
Drew, I also am a fan of ginger.
Oh, great. I'm glad somebody was.
But if that's the case, right? I don't think that's gonna make a difference.
See, because he wouldn't be, what I'm saying is where the speaker is and where the mic, and the reason why this would make a difference is because this mic pickup pattern, they can be back there talking. This pickup pattern is going here. So even if we got audio back here, and if they're quiet, it won't pick up. It's the pickup pattern of the mic. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to try this in the sense of he would be like here looking at the actual stream.
Is there a way to mute this mic?
Hmm?
Is there a way to mute?
It is. I can mute it from there.
Okay.
Drew, I need a Drew real. He can't hear me. So I switched it in the system. I got you in the system.
I just did that ice cream one.
Ice cream?
Yeah, no, because my real favorite desserts are all Turkish desserts, but I can't just go anywhere to get them.
Are all what?
Turkish desserts.
Turkish, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's something I'm looking for, it's hard to find, so when I'm in DC, I just eat ice cream.
Oh, okay. Chocolate?
Yeah, I'm a chocolatier of sorts. I love a good Snickers bar, just make truffle, you know.
No, chocolate ice cream?
Well, chocolate ice cream, not everybody drinks the partner.
No. That's why we had the problem before.
Better that they left their kids.
We all put the Bluetooth because the mic and the speaker on the same thing. It's sounding choppy, so I'm changing it.
Okay.
They don't have nothing to do with Bluetooth. What I did was I routed it through here. Drew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Now, do me a favor. How clear do I sound?
Or who are you talking to?
Drew. Drew, can you hear me? Drew.
I can hear you. You just sound like you're standing a few feet away from the phone.
This is the microphone.
That mic is picking up. No, it should be audio input. It's not, it's coming from. All right. There's the external headphones going out. Okay. Let's try this again. I'm confused with myself. Zoom P4 is the audio. That is that. All right. That mic is going. All right. Drew.
Yo.
Do I sound far away?
Yeah, I think it's connected to the regular.
How about now?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like you're closer.
Yeah, can you go back to the system? There's no system issues.
So in Zoom, I think we got Zoom lit. Like Zoom should be going like it's going, right? The microphone is, that shouldn't be.
Exactly. So the mic was there. So now that should be cool.
Should we? Oh,
Yeah, now
So I just unhooked it.
Yes.
Oh,
So he's not hearing us. Right?
Drew, can you hear me?
Yep,
How does it sound?
it sounds like you're a lot closer now.
Got it. So now that's set.
And but the output is the MacBook.
yeah.
Got it. So you mean for us here in the room?
Yes.
So then, but that needs to be changed at the MacBook level for under speakers. Sound.
So can he say something?
All right, Drew, one more time. Go ahead and say something.
It went on.
One of-
All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we are, After Live, dry run number 1. Hopefully 1 of 1 on 5/19/22 at 2:47 p.m. with AFSPA supporting FSPT. Just came from MMC
Let's see.
from AFAE.
Test-
Yeah, can you talk
I'm more
right
happy.
here? What are y'all talking about? I'm gonna come out. I'm not reading it. Somebody can talk. Right here from that mic.
All right.
Hi, Drew, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Am I loud?
Yep.
So, okay, that's good. I sound close. Okay, I think we figured it out. We're just trying to see now if it's going through the stream, okay? But in the room, it's coming out like it's supposed to, which is great news. But keep telling us about your acronyms and your alphabet soup.
Okay. Yeah, from the AFC to the NMC with the FSC and the AFSC.
Oh my
Between
God.
all that, you just kind of set up the DELL with the HDMI plugged into my DELL.
Oh my God. What's your
Now, I
contact?
use my HD to get into my HQ. I use my PC. And,
It's not working.
not the PC that the keynote was talking about, it's the computer PC.
Okay, hold on, Drew. It's not streaming through correctly. You can take a break.
Okay.
Nene is saying it's very loud in her ear. Nene, are Drew and I both coming in loud?
Sure.
You show?
Uh-oh. Okay, just me. Maybe back the microphone up.
Yeah, I think it's just because that's like the, I mean, that's the podcast, my
probably pretty fast.
Yeah, I can probably, because it's got a direction thing on it, so I can probably have it like really far back.
I think like, what is it, they say like a fifth worth away from length, maybe like 4 inches or something like that.
You want me to talk?
And,
Testing. Okay, I'm talking, Michelle. You can hear me because you're sitting right there looking at me, but
It's good.
it's a good level right here. Okay. Oh my gosh, we gotta put Drew out there with Eminem and do like a freestyle.
I did not do well with my own comparison with the only famous white rapper, but.
Hey, Eminem is not, he's a great rapper. He is.
I know, you didn't age well, Michelle. I grew up with Eminem as well.
Okay.
My aunt raced him in the car.
You grew up with Eminem, how old were you? Like fifth grade?
No, when I was listening to Eminem, I was probably like from 7 to 12.
Oh Lord.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I don't know.
You were listening to Eminem at 7 years old.
Good and bad influence.
Okay.
It was a lot of 50 Cent and Eminem.
Is it working, you guys?
That was all right.
50 Cent and stuff.
Carter is working?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Drew, keep talking. I think we're trying to see if we're just trying to make sure that the stream is working okay.
Okay.
But
Well,
it's looking good.
Let me think.
Me?
Like that.
On Restream, so
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's through there, but it's still, like I said, it's audio, but it could be because it's on the phone.
Very nice, very nice.
It doesn't sound as clear.
Michelle said it's like
That's how,
doing something
that's
weird.
how it's going to be, because you cannot control
They and I
what
was
the
very,
device
very fantastic. They had a beautiful atrium, and I was just very happy to enjoy that architecture.
It's up to you, he can hear you good, and
You
everything
know,
going out.
I might be young, but I am old enough to have watched all of
It's
the
going on.
Drew, it's
So
okay.
nobody can say I'm uncultured. Okay.
It's okay. Thank you. I think we're okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Sam take over and talk to you a little bit.
Okay. Great.
All right, Drew. So it looks like we kind of got everything kind of somewhat set. So you're acting as the caller on this end. So now what I'm about to switch gears since we got that part licked, so we can hear, and Shannara should be listening so she can hear how it sounds from the actual audience perspective. You know, and Shannara, my mic is probably a little hot. I have to turn it down over at the Zoom, but because I moved it closer to me. But what we get ready to do, Drew, is we're getting ready. You're actually logged in to Restream through the back end, right?
I clicked your link.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the yeah, that was the guest link. And what I'm gonna do is
So, question is Kai gonna be the only one talking?
no. So here's where he this is kind of like I was saying, this is like another option, right? Because he may have, like Adrian, I think his name is Adrian, right?
Yes.
Let's say if they're in the office and they do two, yeah, they would do a 2-person setup, right? Or a 2-shot setup. She doesn't have to be. She could literally, like the link that I sent them, which you can't see right now is because their cameras are muted. But what it looks like, this is what it looks like on the back end. It's not going
You
on.
was the producer.
Yeah. See, here they are right here. They're all in here.
So
If I do like that, I can bring them onto the show. Yeah, you can turn your camera on.
If I unmute myself and I'm Adrian, for example, and I'm.
Go ahead.
Hi, Sam.
Michelle, I'll go out there.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam. Hi, Sam.
I was going to see you. So yeah, you would be on the actual stream. So
Can you play on the TV?
yes, I'm trying to get back to that. It just needs to be refreshed. So the beauty is you would have, you had to, when you accepted it, so you gotta go to your settings, but you didn't probably accept it to tell it your camera. So you just go to your settings. Yeah.
So you gotta tell
Yeah, you gotta tell it what camera you want. Because people got multiple cameras sometimes. Okay, so, all right. Now, Nene, can you hear me? Nene, can you hear me? Sure. Yes, okay. So, all right, you and Drew, well, we're all in the back office now. What I want you to do is I want you to notice what role will you be playing? What is do we know what everyone else's role? We don't have roles yet.
No, I guess I have a question as well. So, your camera that's turned on,
Mm-hmm. Which one?
your camera right now is
Mine?
turned on, right?
Yeah, right here.
So, Kai, will he be on video or not?
Yeah, he would be on video.
So, if that's the case, I mean, you are using this computer as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
He only has the mic. He won't have a camera.
No, don't. I don't. This is the hard part. Don't take it literal, right? Imagine Kyle could be home. He's got his own camera. If we were here, that's why that camera is there. We would be using that, but we're not. We're still just testing audio. So it don't. It's not literal in the sense of he would have a camera. He would. That's why we set it like this, and then mic because he would be looking straight ahead with the screen and the camera down there, as if he was talking to them. Okay. But he's really looking at the camera at the same time. So again, we're not there because we're trying to work this other part. Yeah. So we're not there.
Got it.
So I mean, it's like it's literal though. I get it. It don't make sense, but it does. Okay, Nene, are you there?
She said she can hear you.
Okay,
She just
got
waited for
it.
instructions.
So what I'm gonna do is, can you see what I'm doing over inside of Restream on the side? Open up this private chat. Got it. And you might have a delay on the audio. I don't know, but let me type.
And Nene, you can also use the chat in Restream as well.
Yeah, try to use, yes, this one, yes.
You got a chat from her in there?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Nene, so can you see the chat on the right side where, tell me, can you take a picture or something? I just need to see what you see. I want to know what you see so I can help you, show you what you see. Thank you, sir. Literally, you helped out such a lot.
You're welcome. So when are you guys testing it again?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll have the cable. It's going to be totally different because, well, it would be easier because it's going to come straight off of the phone. Remember what I was telling you that's what this is. I'm going to plug basically an iPad or an iPhone with the Zoom app with the caller, and I'm going to plug it into there.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm going to plug it into here.
Because Joel is going to be here tomorrow.
Okay.
But if you guys, he can help. If not, if you guys need me, I can still be here as well. Just so you know.
Okay.
We're doing this. We changed time to tomorrow.
I believe so.
I don't know why it's not showing on my calendar at the right time, but we're testing XT tomorrow.
So tomorrow. If you need me, just let me know.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm stuffing my face.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Seriously, sir. Thank you. Okay, do you have dual screens or can you minimize it? Because I have the chat and it cuts off part of the screen, but you don't need to have it open. This is a private chat, but I'm talking about the chat overlay on the right is what I was wondering if you could see. And Drew, Were you there?
Yeah.
Cool. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure you was there.
Yeah.
Now see Michelle. And who is this? Is Nene. All right, Nene. So what I want you to do is that link that remember that link that I sent as far as for you to join, because you're in the show in the back office, obviously, because you're chatting. I'm gonna bring you into the actual stream, right? So it's like 4 boxes now. I don't know if you can see that. What do you see, Michelle?
I do see 4 boxes.
You do see all 4?
Yeah.
I know it was limited, right? So that's what I'm trying to make sure she can see this.
Hold on.
Because this is where you will be receiving the text messages and
Oh,
things, yeah, and then you'll be able to add it and all that.
Okay.
One of the things from over here, if you notice, did you see that? What I just did?
Social comments
Yeah,
display.
it's not out. Yeah, it's not out there. So that's what it is. So obviously, when you guys send stuff out,
And then so we would click on them and showcase it on this live stream.
yes. And remember, this is the beauty of this, is you could literally go in and create the the normal sayings, right? So they're loaded. So the day of the show, we just hit a button.
Okay.
Hey, follow us at blah blah blah. You ain't gotta keep typing it. We don't have to do all of that.
Yeah.
It'll automatically go out. It'll go out over all of the streams.
Okay.
So LinkedIn, Facebook, and
So
YouTube.
this link that you just sent us, this is a guest stream.
That is a guess, right?
Guest,
You guys
like
will be
guest.
in under, yes. You
Is that
guys,
like Adrian guest or 'cause
Yes.
she's in the but not like guest for member guest.
no.
So there's
The-
a separate link for the member guest. Is that right?
Well, the member guest would come in through that same link. I'm controlling them down here, whether they come to the show or not, or meaning adding them to the actual live
Oh,
stream.
so
They
this,
come in, you're in the backstage. You're not live. You're in the backstage. You can chat with me. We can talk. This is meant for guests to be able to have that conversation. Don't think of it the same thing as Zoom. Zoom's separate. That's a separate guest because they're calling in. It's a dial in. They call in through the Zoom app.
but we're not streaming through Zoom, we're streaming through.
We're not streaming through Zoom at all. We're streaming through Restreamio right now.
So the link that we're gonna be sending our members is a Restreamio link
The link for
to join the live show if they wanted to.
watch or to talk or comment, because it's different. Because if they're on their platforms, they're going to get the notifications for it live.
Social media.
Social media, because that's what we're doing, streaming to social media, right?
Okay.
So I guess we'll get it live, right? If they want to join, right, it'll be a link that it could be created that day. It could be created in advance. Whatever that link is, it'll bring them in. And what you see is what they will see. We have Aspa's outreach logins in generic. We sent it to Drew. I don't know if we sent it to you and Nene yet. But if not, it's just a sec. I'll make sure you guys are added. You guys will come in through that link to have control of the show alongside, meaning now you can add chats. Now you can do all of this. I wanted you to see what does the guest see when they come in, meaning not just a guest that perhaps want to be on the show, but Adrian is what a person that I'm talking about.
Right. So guests, when you say guests, you mean like guests on the show, not guests like viewers.
So they would get
and
the same,
members.
they would get the same link. Guests on the show would get the same link as our members.
Okay, so that was my question.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, if they want to be live,
Mhm.
yes.
Well, essentially, that's what we're gonna do, right? Well,
Yes.
for our call to action.
Well, but that's what I mean. That's not necessarily. You might want to record it and not go live. There's going to be options and things that come up where you can record this whole thing, right? We can do it live. People all calling in or whatever, and it's just recorded. It's not streamed out. So that's why I'm saying the terminology. It kind of varies, and that's why I'm asking when you say, well, which way is our guest? Our viewers that are on our social media platform, that's where they are. They're on social media.
But see, that's only our viewers through social media. You
Yeah.
know, what if they don't have social media? Like if they want to join and they don't have social media, they want to join the live show, not through social
It would
media.
also have YouTube.
So it would just be this link that we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm.
So I guess my question is, if we're sending this out to members, 70-year-old members who want to participate in the live show, don't have social media, this link is what we would be sending them, right? What you just sent me,
If they wanted to participate, yes.
if they wanted to participate. And I
Yes.
think that's the question I'm asking is like, if we send out an e-blast and say, here, we're gonna do a live show, and this is your opportunity to get on the show, ask questions, ask powerful questions. This is the link to click on so that you could participate on the live show.
Okay, what you're doing is trying to craft the messaging, and that's a lot of, like, we would literally have to lay that out how you would say that, because there's two ways that guests will be able to get on. One will be through that link, and the other is a call. So we got to craft a message that says that. So you can't just say, well, it's gotta be a messaging.
So
And it could be 70, they could be 70 years old. If they want to be on the show, they got to follow either call in or they use the actual
so
link.
I just want to understand like the different ways they can get.
Yeah, two different ways. One would be through the link that I sent you. That's what you're seeing, right? The other link is what Drew is seeing. That's the caller. These are the two. And then you got me and now Nene.
There's 3 ways.
Yeah, so social media.
Well, yes.
Yeah, social media, the link, the guest link that you have.
And the Zoom
Or
call.
the Zoom
So
call.
you can either dial on telephone call,
Mhm.
click on the link,
Mhm.
and then get on this, and Sam controls, when
Mhm.
they go on, right?
Yeah, it'll be any of us, because we're all going to be producers. So any of us will be able to do that, but we're going to designate who is putting people on. We'll have that worked out. The catch, though, what you got to remember is we're producing a show to be streamed on our social media platforms.
Right.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, you can email them through email blasts and all of that, but if they don't go to social media, they can't watch it. If they just click the link to come in the back end of the show, how are they going to watch the show? The only way they're going to watch the show is on social media. That's the whole point. What am I missing?
I'm still, honest to God, I'm a little bit really confused about Afspa Live, just to be very frank.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still trying to understand, like.
So Afspa Live, in a sense, from my understanding, and that's why this platform that we're using is specific for social media.
So this is just specifically for our members who are on social media.
No, yes and no. What I'm saying is Afspa Live is designed as a live show, right? Meaning it's live. It's not a podcast.
Right.
It's a live show.
Right.
So you gotta actually be in. You're gonna call in, or what we did was it said, well, you just don't have to physically be in, because realistically, to be honest with you, that link is really all we should be sending out. But we wanted to have our option for our folks to call in. So we got Zoom that gave us a 800 number, right? So now we're bringing our folks that can call in and all of that into Afspa Live, which is a live call-in show.
So, okay, I understand all of that. And I'm not trying to be complicated.
I know you're not. I want to help. I want to make sure you get it. No,
Yeah.
I'm
So we have a Zoom option for folks to call in. If they want to watch themselves on the show, they have to go to either one of our social media platforms. If they're not on social media, how can they?
It's not designed for them.
Okay, so it's not designed for the people who don't have social media.
Because that's where we're streaming to. So we're streaming live to social media. We're going to probably record it, and if we wanted to put it in other places, you could do that as well. But the goal was, or at least the goal from my understanding, was we want to do a live show. Kyle interact with folks. Okay, where do we want it at? Well, we got our social media platforms. We can stream to our website too, if that's an option. That's not what we've discussed though to get to that point, because that's a separate issue. That's a separate challenge that requires really to be the same thing, but it's just we need to log in and set it up, and you need a landing page and all of that stuff. Are you going to stream to your website?
Right, and so I'm just trying to understand, like, when this.
Right now, we're just doing, right now, all we're doing is.
What was the understanding was that it was just to reach our social media members, is that right, Shannon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not just like an entire membership but more so just the ones who are social.
Yeah, because that's why we still have Afspa Talks, right? Afspa Talks is kind of our regular.
I just like feel like, are we limiting it to just if they have social media or not? Like you said, if we have the option to, and this is probably too late in the game, but if we had probably thought this through more, and maybe planned it out as far as that, okay, we could stream it live on a page so that it's a public link, sort of like a live Zoom call. The live link.
Yeah, you could do
So
that.
they can watch it like TV, like broadcast TV. So you don't have to have a social media account. A lot of people don't like having social media accounts.
I know, but remember when we first put out the Afspa Live, if you go back to the Miller Note, you'll see why we came up with doing Afspa Live and who it's actually for.
Understand. So if that's the case.
Because it'll tell you specifically of who the audience is. You know what I mean? Like who that person is.
But to Michelle's point, is it possible to just embed the YouTube? This is what I'm saying on YouTube. The YouTube window on a web page, if
Of course.
that's what you're thinking.
Well, that's something I have to ask developers.
CloudForce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't just embed a lot. I mean, we could embed.
No, what you can do, I did websites. What you can do is it's just a landing page. You have a landing page, right? It'll be Afspa Live, right? And then you just embed it onto the page. It'll stream out. I'm trying to tell you, it literally, that's what it's designed to do, is to take an embed and play it. It's just script. It pulls it. It's
Just
not,
like a
it has
lot
nothing
of
to do with.
security stuff on our website.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So based off of what we have now, all we would need is to make sure that we create a new page, right? In addition, so whoever the webmaster, I know we do backend stuff, but the designers, right? We would need an additional page, and it would be a landing page, right? And Afspa Live could be housed right there. But remember, the goal is think about it, bro. Use Buzzsprout as an example. That's what Buzzsprout is. That's all it is. It's just an interim for us to kind of host our stuff. Our page could do the same thing. We could literally record our shows, right, on a landing page and just have it literally all right there. We're now getting the technology is there where you can do that. It wasn't before. That's why Buzzsprout and these other platforms existed, because you couldn't do it regularly on a regular page. Now you can. Embedding is so easy on pages because it's just script and code. The players, every website has specific players that it would use. And as long as you got the script for it, it'll load up and it will actually play. Bearing in mind restrictions based off of your network and IT and all of that good stuff. And I know you guys are listening, but you got questions about the Afspa Live and why we're doing it this way?
Hello, can you guys hear us?
Yeah, I can hear Michelle. I think I heard, if I heard Michelle's questions correctly, if I'm quite honest, I thought Nene actually asked some of these beforehand as well. Seems as though it's been a consistent form of point of misunderstanding. I think, I think we all have questions about the why. I'm not.
About the what, Drew? I'm sorry. Questions about I didn't catch that last.
I think it was about the why of the end goal of this again.
It's supposed to be in addition to our Afspa Talks, right? But we didn't want it to look like Afspa Talks.
So this came from Kyle in a conversation that Kyle and I have, where he wants to be able to interact with members in real time. So he's not just getting emails from members and answering them in the newsletter or creating a long form podcast that's recorded. He wants to actually have a conversation with people.
So one thing, I don't know, it almost feels like this isn't the time for the conversation, but if this is the time for the conversation, I'll have it. One thing that springs to mind is it necessary to have it be I guess I understand that it should be different, but I'm actually wondering, does it really need to be a whole different project as opposed to being, this is Afspa Talks, but this is the live version, and, it's in the same straight, because I listen to some podcasts and they'll do or live streams. They'll do call-in episodes, or they're like special edition things. I don't know. I wonder if that would be a little easier than launching a new product. Maybe I'm saying too much. I don't know.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think he really just wanted his podcast to be pre-recorded and not have an actual live podcast.
Oh, but I thought I was testing the Zoom for live guests who are asking questions.
No, I mean his actual podcast, Afspa Talks. He wants to do that pre-recorded, but he wanted his.
No, certainly. Like you would have. I'm saying I totally agree. You wouldn't change Afspa Talks. It's just that if and when it becomes necessary, or it seems as though there's a. It also means if you don't do it on the same monthly basis, like you could have a backlog or build up of awareness or interest that then you guys have been waiting. Now it's time for you to ask questions. I've noticed you are curious or something, and then maybe not every month per se, but whenever it seems necessary or when it becomes more rare, you can promote it as like a more rare, interesting topic. And then it would be After Talk, but it would be like just that one is the live version, as opposed to like here's a separate podcast. So you would still do pre-recorded ones. I only think that just because it kind of then requires us to be on this month-to-month time scale for another activity. And just the last thing was, I think I understand that was I guess I understand that's the request, and that makes sense because Kyle said that, and I'll go by that. But I do think it's important. I'm really trying to see the business interest here for us as well. It's just mostly for member engagement. I just want to make sure that also we're making sure we're always trying to do outreach or whatever that looks like, trying to get prospects.
Can I jump in for a second? I think you would. So everything you just said, Drew, is spot on as far as like with Afspa Talks, right? But remember, even if we didn't say Afspa Live, we would still have to do the same thing in order to go live. So everything we're doing now would be exactly the same. We just wouldn't have the different branding of Afspa Live. What Shannara wanted and Kyle. Okay, so we would but then kind of moots that point. We would already be doing what we're doing now if we went to a live show for Afspa Talks. The only difference is the branding.
No, sure. I think the actual engineering of this show would still operate. Like I agree, we would still have to practice this and use Restream and all that stuff is true. I'm saying the actual creation of a new product,
what's the new product?
Kind of locks you in, then it locks you into this month-to-month time scale. Then you create this expectation of this is now a running show that we continuously do.
Wouldn't we do that though with us? Am I missing it? I'm missing something.
Around, especially around open season, it seems like it'll be very difficult, or I'm worried that it will be very difficult to balance the workload of what open season really looks like, along with this.
I think what I'm hearing is because we're launching it like it's a new product versus this is just a segment under Afspa Talks. My concern only is the social part because I just looked at the Miller note and it said that it's an opportunity for our members to ask questions to ask the leadership, but it doesn't say anything about our members who are on social media, And my concern is I know that we put a Zoom feature together for members to call in so that they could participate in the show, but is there an opportunity for them to watch the show since it's a live show? But if they're not on social, we just talked about a landing page now, but that's completely new. We didn't even discuss that on the Milano,
No, because we wasn't talking about embedded on the website.
Right, that wasn't. Because
you brought it up.
Do you think that
I was just saying that it should.
I only brought it up because you just said that it's only for people on social.
But do you think that people have a problem going to YouTube to watch it?
No, I mean I don't think. But so I asked.
Well, where would they watch? Where were they watching it? On Buzzsprout or BuzzFeed?
No.
Where were they watching at? Where would our members? I'm curious. Where would our members actually watch the show at? If it's not on social, right? Where would they watch it at?
No, YouTube. If you're considering
that's social.
Yeah. So when you asked about the link, you were talking about how members would participate in the show, and you said that we would get them a Zoom number to call in.
Yep, they would have a Zoom number,
So they're
or they would use the link if they
Yeah.
wanted to be on the show.
Okay, Sam, you seem a little upset, so I'm
I'm
just
not-
trying to.
Do I seem upset? I'm sorry, I
No,
don't.
it's okay. No, I'm just trying to understand.
Michelle, I'm not upset. I'm
No,
trying to figure out how I seem upset. Seriously, I do get this a lot, but I don't understand.
No,
I'm trying to
what I
explain
heard
it.
first was about social, but I get it.
Yeah, I was only explaining that the link is
It's on YouTube.
no, the link that I've just sent you, right? That's the link that will get anybody
On the back end.
into the show. The dial-in number will get anybody to call in to our show. They can leave a message, right?
Mhm.
The YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, those are our social platforms. That's where we would be streaming to.
Right. And everyone.
Where
has
else will
all
we
those
stream
advanced
to?
notifications.
Yeah.
My question, Sam, is the link that we're gonna give our members
Mm-hmm.
to watch the show, even if they don't want to participate, but they want to watch.
See, but there's no link for that. That's what I'm trying
So
to
that's
explain.
my question
There's no.
to you.
It's,
So there
it's
is
only.
no link to watch a live show. We're just trying to get so the show essentially is just for people to call in and ask questions, and the only people who are going to be watching it are the callers and participating in the show. None of our members are really going to watch it.
I'm
Do you get what I'm
confused.
trying to say?
I'm confused.
So you're saying that if they're not watching it on social media, we don't have a way.
No, he said there's no link to watch the show. Like if I just want to watch a show as a viewer and not as a caller, and I want to listen to what the questions, like what Kyle's talking about, his topics, and the questions that are coming in, and I just want to watch a show. I'm a member. I'm curious to see what this whole Afspa Live show is about. I just want to watch the show. As a viewer, I don't want to ask questions. Is there a link?
On social, it's our socials. That's why I'm confused.
But could we
Right,
send out
but then I was
YouTube?
just
Could we
saying
just
if
send
the-
out the link to YouTube as well?
That, but he said there's no link to YouTube.
So that's where the confusion is. I got it. YouTube and Facebook, those are to me socials. So what I'm saying is that link is for our socials, right? But then you say, well, can we get a link for YouTube? Yes, that's our socials. There is.
So YouTube.com/AfspaCares is where we would send them.
That's where they would go. Yes, that's where we would. That's where they go on our platforms because it's broadcasting live on our social platforms, right?
Right, because that's the only thing because like I said, social media, you typically have an account, right, for social media, so you get a notification. So if I'm on Facebook, I like your page, I'm gonna get a notification
Yep,
to
you
ask
follow me.
I don't like your page, I'm not gonna see that notification. So I guess the question,
The YouTube link.
correct, the question was, and I
Yes.
asked you that there's no link.
No. Direct. Well, I guess
So you
as in
said there's
television.
no link.
I'm saying there's no link to go watch it other than on our socials because the link that you're getting is to our
Well,
socials.
socials is like online is different from socials in my mind, so that's probably.
Oh,
where
okay,
the
that's what I was saying. That's why I think the confusion is because YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn are social media platforms. That's what they are. I didn't make that up.
No,
That's what
I'm
they're
not,
called.
I know.
That's why I think we got confused.
Because if you follow us on YouTube, for example, I
Mhm.
subscribe to your YouTube channel and I'm online, it's gonna say Afspa Live is live.
Yes.
If I don't follow you,
But if you send the YouTube link out through the email,
Correct.
they can just click on
that's
that.
what
Yes.
I'm trying to say. So if they don't currently follow us in any of our social media platforms, how are they gonna watch the show? So there is
They will have access to our socials via a link. It's bringing them back to our socials though. All that link is going to do is take them to our Afspa Cares page.
Okay.
All the link that's for Facebook is going to take them to our
So
Facebook page.
basically, the
It's
whole
the-
thing is to have them go and, like, if they're not
Yes.
currently following us on social, then
Yes.
we could just say, follow us
Yes.
on Facebook, follow us on this, follow us on that, so you can get a notification when we go live on the 26th,
Yes.
and then you could
See,
participate.
she's working out the wording.
Yeah,
She's working the wording out, and I got it. I can't give you that though right now because we tested it and then somebody
I'm
changed.
trying to understand it so that I know what to write, because at this point, I'm still a little confused as to like how, because we got the Zoom call to participate, and that to me is like, I'm picturing an 80-something-year-old person who doesn't know how to, like, it doesn't have a social media account, so where do they go to watch?
Yeah, I would put in in your e-blast message, the youtube.com, AfspaCares, and then the 800 number.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
To
So
participate.
that's what I mean. The wording though, you really don't want to make wording before we figure all of this out of what we're going, because it's going to change, because based on what Kyle, everything's going to change. That's why I can't give you the wording, because it's all subject to change based off of what leadership says they want to do. Meaning a link,
Well,
an actual.
if we're live next week, I would imagine you're
I would.
the wording, because we were supposed to send an e-blast already, but we didn't have this kind of solidified until today-ish, not even really. So that's, I guess what I'm trying to understand is, because you were saying it's just social. So I understand now that we could just send them a link to our YouTube like page, and then that's where they could watch the live show.
To any one of our pages on LinkedIn, same thing. The beauty about live is though, yes, if they're following us, they're going to automatically get a live. But based off of the tags and the things that we put, we're going to get ranked. So it's not just everybody that follows us. That's what I'm trying. Meaning, from my understanding and how I use social media, I don't just base it off of my followers. I use tagging. I use different things that it gets picked up in news feeds of people who don't follow me.
Right.
Because it's just ways that you would do it. And when you craft a message, a social media post, that wording, you want to think about that. You get call to actions, all of that. We want to make sure it's crystal clear. But until we work this out, that's why I was saying I can't tell you that yet, Michelle, until we work out how we want because you may say, well, we don't want to go to LinkedIn, right? But the wording of it, you might say, follow us on Facebook, yada, yada, yada. And to me, that's a separate hat that I would need to think that through rather than the technical aspect, if that makes sense. That's why I was saying, we're going to get to that point as soon as we get finished here. And I wanted to answer questions of the technical side. And I get what you're saying. You needed to make sense, so you know what to write, right?
Make sure that we're reaching all of our members, and they all have an opportunity. Even
Absolutely,
if they don't follow us on
absolutely,
social,
they will. But remember, there's target audiences, though, right? You do understand the target audiences of who we're targeting, right?
Yes. Our numbers.
That's why we did that whole thing in Millinote where we said, who is the ideal audience for Afspa Live? Like if you go back and you look in the Millinote and look at our
goals, I can read it to you right now.
Not our goals, but our people. When we went and did the audience personas, and we looked and we said who's going to be more keen and more likely to do it, because that was the strategy part. That should have answered a lot of before we built anything.
Okay.
But that was what that was.
Gotcha.
So I get it. It's confusing, but it's in there if you go back to the first one.
Now it's starting to make a little bit more sense, I think.
Yeah,
So
if you go to the audience personas, it'll show you who we said that would be more likely just for all of that stuff.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I think most of the engagement will come from people who are already involved online anyway in the online community. But I do understand where you're talking about with wanting to send the e-blast out to the entire membership to give them that opportunity. And I think we can definitely do that.
Because if we do send, and the idea is when we do send that e-blast, it's not just the people who are already engaged. These are just the entire membership.
Yeah.
So we need to have wording so that they understand that this is something that they can participate in, even though they've never really been engaged in social media. So
you're trying to pass the water net to bring
you
them
understand, right? So I'm just trying to get like a whole feel of like how and what and links and stuff. I understand they can call in, but if they like, how do they watch themselves? Like, oh, just go on YouTube and watch.
it would be to our YouTube channel. But you can literally say that though in the wording. Follow us on our social media platforms and become engaged. We're starting a live. There's so many ways to say that and word it, but once we solidify though this part, we really, and the reason why I say that, and it'll make sense in the end, is because this is going to change. I mean, this is going to change.
No,
How going to
evolve and
it's going to change.
No, and I understand that. I was just because you kept saying social. Sorry, in my mind, not every member is social, and I thought the email, when we're trying to market this and just let
that
more and more.
I agree 100% with you, but I would advise to go look back at the actual Afspa Live initial strategy because it answers that question. We went through and we broke down who is going to watch this show. Where are they? Yeah, that's what we did. And then we said, okay, so then this is the platforms that we need to be on, right? Based off of that persona, right? And now we're building it to it. So I get it. Afspa is way bigger than that. There's people who probably won't even be on social, and you want to give them the opportunity 100%. but this was built strictly for social media. You do understand that, right? Restream, because that's what we're doing. We're streaming to social media platforms. We have on 24 that we're looking at for webinars and different things like that and recording stuff. But for the Aspa Live and streaming live, this is the platform that we were, I guess we worked through all of these different weeks, meetings, all of that stuff to get to this point of, okay, now we're testing it live. It's going to be the issue that we're having right now, and that's why it's taking so long, is because we're modifying scenarios here and trying to give options so that later, right, when we will come next week, right, if they say, I can't make it, but we got to do this. Okay, we got a way that we can do it. That's all. That's all. But I promise you, Michelle, I'm not upset. I promise you that. I'm serious. And I get that a lot. If people, I'm like, no, I want to help you understand. Let me help understand it because I get it. I don't take nothing personally at all. Not software, not.
Yeah,
She
no,
will tell you.
I was just trying to understand like the whole, because when you say it's just for social, and so if that's the case, I shouldn't send an e-blast, and we should just send.
Why wouldn't you though? But see, I don't understand that.
No, I mean at that point,
I think you guys are just, I think the misinterpretation was the social.
The social
Okay.
aspect of it.
You guys had a misunderstanding.
Because our numbers, half of them are not even on social media. So it's good to have them connect now with us and encourage them to follow us on all platforms so that they could, engage through Ask the Live if they want to speak live and ask questions.
Yeah, ask questions. Because the whole Afspa Live is not a product. It's talking about what we already talked about. We're not creating any more. I mean, yes, we're creating a product. It's Afspa Live. What I'm saying is the discussions is about what we've already talked about from Afspa Talks, right? Because we've already went over, and now he's answering questions where he has a platform that people can feel like, well, I read this article, so because they got now something to talk about rather than, what are you talking about, Kyle? What you read Afspa Talks, and what I'm working on now that I'm going to add to the Millinote file is even at the show, like all, on YouTube, our show descriptions and all of that stuff has to be populated, and it need to be templated based. We're only doing this once a month. So it'd be easy to kind of lay out what we want, where we want to drive them to, and knowing what those shows, because we know what the shows are that they're going to talk about because he's already talked about. Does that make sense? Like, and that all is going to help with the ranking and the viewership, which it will be in front of people who are not following us on social media. That's how we get our video, our content. And not that it's selling, like Afspa Live wasn't designed to be a sales conversion. It's not trying to sell and convert people. It's just providing information. So, and it's providing information for our folks who are online, who are active, not segmented in our older population at all. They'll still have the opportunity to do it, but we know older people are not going to do it. That's just the reality of it. If they're not on social media already, they ain't on social media already. Afspa Live is not bringing them on social media. They're just not going to do it. So when we built this thing, in the strategy session, we had to figure out, so who are we going to talk to? Who would be more inclined to want to use this? And we figured our active users who are new members and current members that like been in the game, used to social media, used to video, and those audience personas in Millinote, that's what that is. It's actually going through saying, okay, who's a typical Afspa customer? Because I went through the data, right? That's why it took me so long to research who's our customers, what are their age group, how much do they make, what are their jobs? And based off of that, I created personas to say, okay, here are the people who would be ideal candidates out of Afspa's members or new members. And that's when I designed that. But I hope that helps. Nene, do you have any questions? I feel like I see you with your hand up or something or asking. I feel like you got a question. Yes. How about try to come into the actual show. Let me see. What's your audio?
She said, why can't we use Zoom and unmute people? Yes, we are getting more in-person invitations. Can someone address my Zoom question? Zoom.
What'd she say?
Zoom.
Where is it? Is it in the private chat?
Or
it's in Teams?
And then she said, we can unmute them on the new platform. Can we unmute them on the new platform? Can Sam see my question?
Zoom and unmute people. Got you, Nene. Well, I'll answer your first question about Zoom because we kind of covered this before, but maybe you missed it. The reason we're not using Zoom is because you can only go live to one platform at a time on Zoom. What was your next question? Hold on, I'm trying to send something. It's okay. This is from earlier. Yes, we are getting in-person invitations. Why can't we use users?
Light users.
What was your other question? Did I answer that for you, Nene, on why we're not using Zoom to unmute? And then remember, we got Zoom phone, right? Which is confusing. It's going to be confusing. It's not Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
It can be used with Zoom,
But
it's Zoom phone only is what it is.
And I like that, for Zoom phone, like I said, for the folks who don't have social, they, they're so used to picking up the phone and dialing. That's good for them because we do have a lot of members who are not social and who feel comfortable just dialing a number and be like, hi, Kyle,
I think that was the workaround, though. Why of the not just social media was okay. They got an audio line that they can actually call in.
Yeah.
So that they can be a part of it. They don't need to be in the Zoom. So that's why I said the wording, right? What you're going to send out, it's gotta really speak to that and not confuse folks, right? Because
that's what I'm trying to get an understanding of how to. Make sure that we've got the right wordings and how they can participate and
I agree.
all that, and just understanding that, because when you kept saying no, that's just for our social members, I'm like, okay. So it's hard to, what about our members who are not on social?
Yeah, they would call in.
Right. So as far as calling in, I understood that, and then as far as watching that was my next question, and then you said there was no link at first, but then you said that it's on YouTube. So as long as I know that, I'm just going to, like Shanara said, use everything Afspa cares, and then
See, but I think it's going to be different, though, don't you think? Because again, it's going to be, you're going to have members on LinkedIn. Like, what about your LinkedIn members? You just going to send everybody to YouTube and not LinkedIn? Because there's folks that'll be watching, I would assume, right, on our followers. Did she say something?
Check the private chat. She said she sent you something in the private chat.
I sent my questions to Sam in the private chat. Boom. Okay. When I chat, it covers some of my screen.
It's restreamed, but it's going to be through all social platforms.
Yeah.
But anything that's, if you're not, like, for example, if you're not a Facebook user, you can't watch a live event. You have to have an account, right? Because that's my question. So but YouTube is a public link, because I can go to youtube.com/AfspaCares, but can I watch your live link? So I guess my question is there a link where if an old 80-year-old wants to ask Cal questions about orthopedic, surgery, can they watch themselves?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, I would say YouTube, and they can send questions through YouTube Live too.
Yeah, so this is so when your question is are you going to just send them to YouTube? I guess that's the only public link that allows, because, we've got a lot of people who work, State Department, they block YouTube. This is, like you said, this is a social thing. So later on, perhaps down the line, we could talk about how we can embed stuff on our website or whatever, where they can access it and there's no, nothing that's stopping them from watching the show, even if they don't want to participate, but they just want to watch, And then we can definitely use UTM to track that so that we know who's watching our show and where they're coming from, just so we have an idea. But that was just sort of my question, and I apologize if there was a confusion there, but I just really wanted to.
I wanted to make sure I articulate it because I guess too, and now that I think about it, oh my God, I got go I didn't even see that.
She sent you something on the private chat.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't
Dang, I'm sorry, I'm sloppy. What I was gonna say was we actually had, and I gotta remember, you guys wasn't in all the meetings. A lot of this was discussed already in some of the meetings,
Okay.
and everybody wasn't in it. But then I thought we kind of articulated it out, but it wasn't. That's why I said I want to help y'all understand what we talked about while we're
And I
at
think Drew and Nene, if you can hear
It's the same
us,
question.
you have like a better understanding of the Afspa Live concept now that we've kind of discussed it and how our members can participate and who we're trying to target and the reason why we are branding it this way.
Yeah, I think I understand. This is a strictly member education activity and it's targeted based on Sam was saying, he did the research on our membership base and who would be the most likely / ideal candidates to be involved in this. And that's the reason why we decided to go social or brand it like this. And correct?
Yeah, that's it. That's kind of how it was. If you go back to the original meeting about Ask for Live, it was okay. We're gonna brainstorm. We're gonna put together some ideas. We're gonna strategize, research. We did it. We presented it. Now we got platforms, and then we were also looking at we're looking at these other platforms. Well, how can they help us achieve what we want? You know what I mean? To achieve the overall goal. Then we settled on the platform, and we kind of figured out that we knew we needed some sort of broadcasting platform. The problem with On24 is they can't go to all of our platforms like Restreamio can do. That's why we're only using Restreamio. We were going to be using Zoom, right? Bringing people into Zoom and then doing that, but leadership wanted us to get away from that because it didn't allow us to stream to multiple platforms, and it kind of stuck us with this one look. As you can see with Restreamio, we got so many different ways we could brand this to get our branding out there. So that's why this particular platform was chosen. But I think as we are going through the testing right now, right, this is all just a dry run. There's a reason we have 2 dry runs one before tomorrow, because tomorrow is an actual dry run. This was more or less set up gear, test it out.
The technology.
It's more of a technical thing. The theory stuff and all that, we talked about it, but we can readdress it, but we really kind of touched on that already, and decisions was made, not mine. Decisions was made already on why we were doing it this way. So I get exactly what you're saying, and you're right. Where are they going to watch it, right? If they're not on social, if they want to watch, the only place they could would be YouTube. But I gotta double check to see if LinkedIn and Facebook, once you go live, because they have they actually have their video thing is different. I forgot what they call it, but it's like you know how you have on Facebook and it's called like it's videos, and they'll just be playing all the random videos.
Real? Yeah.
Real. Well, it's not reels. It's on Facebook. It's literally
when you watch one video and then it just
keeps looping. See, you don't need to be following those people to do that.
But you need
Anybody.
to have an account on Facebook.
You do. Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, because that's the whole point. But that's the whole point.
However, we want to reach all membership to give them an ample opportunity to participate, even if they're not social. But I understand that. I think our target audience are social numbers. So that was what I guess I missed, and I apologize for missing that. If it's just we're just trying to hit the social, part of our membership, then that's where I was just trying to understand, because the Zoom call, I thought, okay, that's cool. They can call and they don't have to have any social accounts, because some people stay away from social media, especially dignitaries, people who don't want to be on social media. How can they participate without Facebook Live? They can't watch that if they're not a Facebook user, all that. So if there's a link that they could say, hey, I want to call in and watch this, and I want to, then that's if that's you.
I think that's definitely an option. The other part though to that, Michelle, would be as simple as for those individuals, just like we do with Afspa Talks, it's recorded and we send them the video or a link to the video. So we'll be able to give them, but if they wanted to participate, here's how they would have to participate.
That's what I'm saying. If they want to participate, then we want to encourage them to be social.
Yeah, because I would recommend
conversion to social at this point, where if they want to participate, like
If they want to be a part of the show.
connect with us through our social channels, because now you'll get notifications every time we go live.
Yes.
So
That's what our teasers will be letting them know.
Exactly.
Watch live. Watch us answer questions on. And again, the wording is going to change, but it becomes. I think that becomes your kind of your basis for how you communicate this Afspa Lives out. Meaning, once we do that one show, right, and we got that recording, we know we got a segment of audience that is older and they're not on socials. We could send that to them, right? But our wording would be, check out our live caller show. If you want to participate, follow us on social media and get, you know what I mean? Like that, that's how we would address those folks that we know are not on social media.
Okay.
It's not because it can't be a one size fits all because we know they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
Nene, I saw your questions and I'm not quite following. You said we could send one platform link to one event. To Michelle's point, people who want to just watch can watch. Whoever wants to talk could just be unmuted.
I think she said if we move to on 24, but it's the same problem where we can only stream to Facebook.
Yeah, we can only stream the one platform. That's why we had to.
So, Nene, I think, I understand why we chose Restreamio, which I love, by the way, because I do like the fact that we can stream to all social channels.
Mhm.
And that's important because once you go live, whatever social channel you're already subscribed to, or it'll send you a notification. That does less work for us. And that's the basis of it all, right?
That's part of it. The biggest one is, guess what? The way we structure this show, it won't have to be re-edited,
Right.
which saves even more.
What is it? Well, we're still determining if it's going to be like a live show or recorded, right? Or
No, it's live.
This is
It's
full
Afspa
on.
Live.
Yeah. Because you mentioned it
And
earlier.
he said just after the fact, like just record it and then follow up with an email after the fact.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
Right after the first
yeah.
episode.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying for the people we know who are not on
Not
social,
social.
really for them to be able to get it. But did Nene respond?
Yeah. No, but I think I understand now. And if YouTube .com/AskTheCarrots allows them to watch this without even having to have a subscription,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's the place to, if you don't, but please, we encourage you to, if you're social, because we don't want to force anyone to be social.
No.
There's a lot of people who work for DOD who are just stay away from, like my husband, DHS, they don't do social media, for lots of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So at least giving them the opportunity to like, hey, I want to stay anonymous, but I do have a question, I just got hired, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah, so this is why we researched the Zoom phone, and I'm glad we did because Kyle actually brought it when we were in the meeting about recording, which is perfect for folks like that, because then that can be recorded in Zoom. We could pull that down, upload it, play it
live show.
right on the live show.
Yeah.
So and then that becomes a selling point with the wording of now for the show. Check out blah blah blah. You ask some questions and all of that. It just becomes a part of it.
Yeah. No, it's good that we're having this conversation because I'm getting a better understanding of how we can market this and even though the audience is sort of tailored to our social audience, but we could still have other members participate because I do know that there's a lot of other members who want to join and they're not social, and how can they watch? Even if I want to call in, I want to watch. So
I think what you mentioned is good. The website, we should probably look into that, right?
Yeah.
Because literally it's an embed, and actually Restream provides you with a link of an embed, and all you do is put it into your thing and it plays.
Okay.
It's really
so
not
we can
hard.
Test that for sure.
Yeah.
I know we could definitely.
Because I think that will probably solve that question. Watch on our website. Watch on our socials. Call in. Like we'll have, you know what I mean? Like a wording that will encompass and not confuse people. Because that's what we don't want, is to confuse them. And then they're like, I forgot. Like y'all said all these platforms and I thought it was Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that happen. That happens a lot where the messaging is confusing.
Right. So, and that was just my biggest concern. But thank you for addressing it.
I told you, I'm not mad.
No, it's okay. I thought you were gonna
I have these
like,
look.
oh,
No, it's because, and I'm sorry. My mom,
Michelle, where are you gonna watch it then? I'm like, I don't know. if they're not social. I'm like,
I was raised around women. I've raised women, my daughters. Trust me. And they tell me all the time, why you say it like that? I'm like, what did I say? Well, you was using your hands. I was like, I'm animated. I can't help it. I'm trying my best. Like I be sitting on my hands and trying, but I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries. No need for apology. Thank you for clarifying a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And Drew and Nene, if you had to,
Yeah,
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna drop the last question. So we have, and this isn't strictly a technical question, so I think we'll move past that one. I think we're good on all that. What portion of the, if I think about, what's it called? I guess our obligation to member education, between this and then the Afspa Talk podcast, are those like our primary like member education activities then? Like my worry or my priority then is just to confirm, like, these are the member education activities, so then our other focuses could be for growing the plan, or is this only a small component of like a bunch of member education we're doing? Just because I want to make sure and at least for outreach, I want to make sure we're trying to, always reach new people outside of these member education activities.
I understand what you're saying.
But I'm just worried. It seems like a lot of work.
No, I understand what you're saying. Actually, that's a question for Nene. As the outreach manager, she's creating the vision for the outreach branch. So that's going to be a discussion that you and her have to decide upon. What your member education is going to look like.
So this wouldn't be member education? No, I thought that's what this already. I thought that was the whole point of this already.
Yeah. This is member education, member engagement. It is, but as you were saying, like it's a part of it, but the rest of it is going to be determined by you all.
I think, Drew, a lot of it, I mean, it seems like a lot of work now because we're still trying to iron out all the kinks and get this all together. But I feel like since this is once a month and once everything, once you figure everything out, the live show literally is going to probably be something that I think he's concerned about the time frame that it takes to kind of promote it every month.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the involvement of, putting the show together and being in the back and producing it and everything. I feel like it's going to become second nature after the first two shows.
Yeah. As far as
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's why I'm worried, because we do webinars and then even if, we're doing one little webinar and it's supposed to be quick and easy and we've done a million, then I have a problem with a speaker or coordinating with someone and they don't get me something in time. And a million things happen, tiny things as to why something goes longer than it's actually supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm understanding it should definitely be easier. I agree. Like this is the first time we would do this meeting once a month. I totally see that. Like this is just to figure things out. But okay, if it's then I guess the answer is if it's in our outreach initiative to figure out the rest of the stuff, that's good. So we can chart out the rest of our path after that, I guess.
Exactly. And the only reason that I'm having so much input in this one is because it's an ask from Kyle. But again, to Sam and Michelle's point too, once we get everything a little more figured out between today and tomorrow, and even the first 1 or 2 episodes, I think we can template stuff, and then it'll go as smoothly as the podcast does. When Kyle's when he does his podcast, he's just kind of breezing through them now, and everybody knows what they need to do after the fact, and they're turning them around really, really quickly.
Okay.
Did that answer your question? Did she answer your question? Did you have one for me, Drew? Because that wasn't my question. That wasn't for me.
No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have any more questions. That should be. Wait, I had a thought for a second. It escaped me. I'm just trying to make sure.
So also, I mean, when we get the 2 new people, and obviously we're going to work as a team to get this done every month, and we could even revisit that because right now we're doing once a month, but I mean, like during open season, we may not do once a month. We may do, like it's hard to say what it's gonna look like. Could be like maybe once every, I don't know. I mean, as far as the frequency, Kyle may be busy. What if, it depends on his schedule too. So right now, I think we're planning to do once a month, but I could see, Drew, your concerns of how every month, coordinating this, getting callers and all of that, because I mean, there's always a concern that no one's gonna call, right? And then what's the point of having the show if we don't have any engaged members? So it really depends on how the show goes too. Like if it doesn't really work out,
Sure.
it doesn't work out, in my opinion, right? If we're trying something that Kyle, really wants to do to engage with members this way, and members are open to it and they love it, and then then we have to put our focus on this. But if members are not interested, then we can't force members to be interested in something that they're not, right? So I feel like we got to just try it out and then see what happens from there.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I remember. I mean, I will say, maybe it's just for any future projects, undertakings that are large like this. I don't know. I'm a little surprised. I'm slightly concerned. I don't know. Like I feel like we did have meetings about this, or we talked about the middle notes and stuff, but it's a little concerning to me that maybe we had all this coming out now. Maybe it's a factor of Michelle being in the office, and maybe it's different than talking on Teams. But we all, I don't know. This conversation was. It just seems like I wish we discussed a lot of this before, and that's not anyone's fault in particular. Of course, we're all responsible for asking questions and providing information. But like, for example, like I wasn't aware of like that this was Kyle's idea, or like that he really wanted it to go on social, or those are just all, I think, important, good contexts for me to know now. Like, I'm glad I know now. I kind of wish, if I'm honest, I kind of wish we knew a little bit before.
Yes. So now that everything, I mean, I understand too. I kind of feel a little the same way as far as like, I feel like we probably could have planned it more in a way where like all these questions, like you said, should have been addressed sooner instead of like our dry run like today before our live main dry run for tomorrow. But I'm glad that, we've had like this, we had this conversation, and that everybody has a better understanding of why we're doing this show, and why we want to try to make this show.
Yeah, we're better for having this conversation now.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's better late than never. I totally agree.
Okay, cool. So, Nene, I hope you're on the same page.
Nene, if you can, because you are in the show in the back office, and I got you on the live stream, can you unmute your mic on that, turn off Teams, unmute your mic within the actual restream, and then you can talk to us. Because I'm having a hard time following the comments. Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, I was unmuted before and nobody could hear me.
Oh, we can hear you now.
But I guess it's working now. Okay, wonderful. Hi.
Hi.
She can see us.
It's a little bit. And I think there's, I can see everybody's raising their hand, raise the roof. No, I think this discussion's been great. Like, and Drew, I don't want to speak for you. What I was putting in the notes is, I think we just have like many external requests that we could use the same amount of time for our external customers, and trying to plan events that they've requested. And as far as attracting people to the plan, new people to the plan. Sam, I sent you that one we got from Custom and Borders. I don't know. Your face.
I'm confused.
Don't remember
I'm confused because I'm not sure what you're referring to.
No, when Drew was talking, with his questions he was asking about, you said this activity is to inform current members. And the topic came up about our outreach initiatives, and it was said to ask Nene, and I was saying we have many requests that we have from external agencies. However, where our focus goes. Like obviously, like we've been on the call 3 hours today. So I actually have at least like 3 HR people that, you know, I was supposed to call back that I haven't gotten to get to their request. So I think in a summary, I think Drew might have been asking about our capacity as far as making this a priority and the external requests we get a priority.
Okay. I thought you had a question for me. For the technical stuff is what I wanted to make sure I answered anything for you that you might.
No, I already asked them in the chat.
Did I answer them for you?
People. I mean, it sounds like we're moving forward with what was discussed, so I'm all in.
No, I'm asking, did I answer your questions, Nate?
Yeah, I asked several times. I said, "Why can't we unmute?" And I don't know if it was addressed, but at this point, I've been listening to everything, and I'm just gonna go with the plan.
And you said unmute who? Who are you referring to? You asked to unmute. What are you referring to? What context? Can you provide that for me, please? If I want to answer it for you, I want to help you understand.
The answer is that if we just use Zoom or On24, both platforms, and we're just having people come into those platforms and we're unmuting them, we can do that, but we can only stream to Facebook. And that's why we decided not to use either one of those platforms, because we don't have the capacity to go out to YouTube, to LinkedIn, to Facebook all at the same time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, now my computer kicked me out. My HQ kicked me out. Sorry. No, I was. I didn't hear like the last 30. I didn't hear the last 30 seconds. I got kicked out.
Can you hear me?
So
yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, so what Shanara said, what you missed was that I think what you're referring to is using the platform On24 or Zoom, and the reason why we didn't go with those to other social platforms outside.
You cut out for. I'm sorry. I'm having a lecture. All I heard was the reason why, and then it cut out.
Can you use your microphone?
Okay. Hey, can you hear me, Nene?
I can hear you. I just,
okay.
I don't know. Sometimes it kind of cuts out for like a couple seconds, and it's when an important word is said when it cuts out.
Got it. So, what was said was the reason why we're not using and we're not unmuting people, to your original question, and we're not using On24 and Zoom for this process is because it did not allow us the ability to stream to these platforms. And yeah, we can use On24, we can use Zoom, and we can mute, but we can't create you see can you see the layout that we have right now that's going out? You couldn't do that in Zoom. It doesn't give you the ability to change your layouts and things to be creative to make it more impactful. So the decision was made that, okay, we're going to go to this direction because in this direction, we get more flexibility and we get more reach. And it's cheaper. So the value was in this platform. That's why we can mute and unmute people. Like I can literally, you can't see it because you're under the guest, but I have the ability to mute and unmute. What I'm gonna make sure as soon as we get done here is make sure you guys all have, because we have 5, I think, accounts on this, that everybody in the team should have an admin login. And when you log in, you can log in under your own login. And when we're in the show, we all have the same capabilities, but we're all going to play different roles, which will be very clear. Tomorrow, we're going to identify them what everybody feel comfortable with, because there's several roles. Each person, I kind of laid it out in that Miller note file, was if everybody just takes a platform, right, and it'll be a lot easier. But what if somebody's out sick or somebody's not here on that day of? It's important that we all kind of understand, because it's not really a lot, to be honest with you. What we're doing now, and the reason it's taken so long, because it's a walkthrough. There's going to be all kinds of issues, that we have to walk through and test in the nuances. So I would only tell you that's why it's taken. Normally, it's going to be 35 minutes. The broadcast is not even that long. I want to say it was 35 minutes. It's the actual 30-minute broadcast of Kyle. So we're talking an hour that this is going to take for us to actually do. Meaning, if we got together 30 minutes prior, did smoke checks, test, boom, and it done for 30 minutes, it's a done deal. So I think that what you will see, and I understand the confusion because it's new to all of us in the sense of this is what we're doing business. We're not used to doing this, right? This is something totally new. You guys were using Zoom, right, for your webinars, and then we were pre-recorded. And the problem that we've been running into is this will, and Michelle pointed this out earlier, this is going to help us tremendously on our manning. I'm telling you, once you see how easy this is, now what I got here in the office, y'all don't need to do. We could all literally be on our laptops right now. I just brought this in to try to give options to show how even more impactful we can make Kyle look on his set when that goes out. But to be honest, we all can
Are
literally
you
be on
supposed to be on
laptops.
camera?
No, I'm not. I'm
Are you
leaning
supposed to be on
towards the
camera?
microphone. I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm leaning
Oh,
towards the
okay.
microphone.
Okay.
But I digress.
Okay,
I
I'm
just
on board. Let's do it.
okay.
I'm
So
good. I'm good.
so everybody now is inside here, right? My camera is the only one that's on. Just imagine if I was Kyle, this is how it would be. Our cameras would be off. Uh-oh. Hey, Drew, did you hang up? Drew,
I
did I
still
lose
see
you?
his D there.
I did. He must have hung up because the Zoom is out.
I dropped my phone and it ended.
No, I see him. I hear him. He said he dropped his phone.
Yeah.
Yep, I hear him too.
Drew,
We
we
hear
can
him.
barely hear you.
I can hear him though.
You hear him loudly?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have the mic on. It can't be any
Oh.
closer.
Okay. Well, if everybody else can hear you, it's fine.
Okay, so what I was saying was the let me remove this from the since we're not sharing that no more. We could literally be doing this all from our normal locations on our own laptops, logged in through Restreamio, and the process is the same. So don't confuse what we're doing today with why it would be even difficult. It really isn't. It's just going to be the same process. So for you guys, as we looked at, we talked about in the Miller Note file, each one of you, with the exception of Drew, would be considered a moderator in a sense. So your platforms. I'm actually going to go to my YouTube and let me put a comment so you guys can see how the comments come in. If I can.
Do you want me to
See it.
I'm in the YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can too. That way we can see how it all looks. Boom. So now it comes in, right? You can't see it. Obviously, we can see it in our.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, we can see it within. Can you guys see that, Drew and Nene? And Shania, you see her comments?
Yes.
So
I can
Shanae?
see the chat. How do we type in it?
I mean Nene. You don't. If you
Yeah, I
want.
can see it.
Nene, what this is doing is it's aggregating all of the comments from each social channel. So the one that came in that says testing 1 has a little red YouTube icon on it because somebody was sending that comment
Right.
through the YouTube live stream. And then if somebody's watching on the Facebook live stream and they comment on it, you'll also see it in this same column, and it should have like a little Facebook icon. So this will put all the comments together, no matter what app or social media platform the person is trying to communicate through. But that was what Restream does. It'll put it all together.
Put it all together. But I'm saying if I'm on Restream like I am right now.
Yeah, but
and I wanna
we
type
will
comments, how do I
only
do
will
that?
be on the Restream in the back end, if I understand this correctly, and audience members and members that are watching, Afspa members that are watching, are going to be watching via YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, et cetera, whatever social media.
Oh, they can't watch directly.
No, that's Restream is used for us to
Got
host this service and for us to aggregate comments and be able to stream out to all the different social platforms. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody.
Gotcha. There's no
Nope, you're
guest,
correct.
Okay.
no guest allowed.
Mhm.
Thank you, Drew.
No problem.
You'd have to call that Zoom number to get on the show and ask your questions, or we would allow a messaging on the Zoom call that says, if you have a question for this live show, leave your message after the beep kind of thing. Did you hear me?
Can you guys hear Michelle?
talking to
It's
me?
very faint. I couldn't exactly hear it if Michelle's trying to talk to us.
Can you hear me?
Echoing.
Oh, now there's an echo or something.
Yeah, but we can hear you.
I just turned on my mic, but
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't because it's probably picking you up.
Renee?
Yes.
We're getting that echo.
It's okay. I'll get on the mic. Or can you tell her what it? Because she's
Here, no, you can tell her right here.
the host. Hey, Nene, can you hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Yeah, so the conversation that Drew and I were having was that exact same conversation. If the member is not on social, and they wanted to participate, we had that Zoom call that they can call in. But then my concern was, where can they go to watch the show? And Stan clarified that they would go to our YouTube page. That would be like the public page that they could watch the show without having to be subscribed or on any social platform.
So that's what you're going to put in the e-blast, the YouTube link?
Right. So that was what I was trying to figure out, because I was trying to understand that part of, if they're not social.
Mm-hmm.
But he already clarified that. So if they call in using the Zoom number, they can ask a question.
Right. I get that. I guess I'll just wait for the e-blast to see what the call to action is.
Okay.
So my question, guys, was: did you see the actual the text on the side, the chat, Nene, where Drew was explaining to you? Did you see that?
I can see it. Yes.
Okay.
My question is, you said something about sending us another link. So if I'm already a behind the scenes person, what's this other link going to do?
You have to give me some more context, Nene. What are you referring to?
Nene, I don't think that link is for us. I don't think that was. I think I kind of know what you might be referring to, but I don't think that's for us to worry about. If you're just in the back end, you're in the back end, and you won't need another link.
Okay, you had said something about you had sent Drew a link already for Restream, and you said I didn't know if Nene got it earlier in.
Oh, she's talking about admin versus guest link, Sam. I'm pretty sure.
There you go. Thank you.
Okay, I just needed clarification. I didn't know what you were referring to. We got a lot of links that we're talking about today.
Yes, clearly.
So a little more clarification would help in communicating. Anyway, okay, so you're good. You're good?
Did what he said make sense?
Who said make sense? Drew, what he just said?
Yes.
Of course. He just told you that you were.
So the answer is the difference between admin and guest link. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you laugh at me.
I understand the question here. Sam, does she need the admin link as well? Do moderators also need the admin link? I think she just wants to make sure she has the links that she needs on the dry run and on the day of. Or is she just good with the links that you will send, these guest links?
Conversation that I was just having with Sam earlier about the links. So basically, there is no guest link. The link that we're encouraging our members to go during live day and or participate will be our social channels, because once they're subscribed to our social channels, they'll get a notification that we're live, or they can go to our YouTube page, which is a public page, and then they can watch live even if they're not subscribed. Does that answer your question? And then the as far as
The guest link, the only people that would get the guest link is like if we have a guest like Adrian.
Yeah,
Adrian would get a guest link.
Correct. If you're confusing the guest link with the guest speaker who Cal's going to be on the show with, that's a different link that Sam just sent all of us today. That's the guest link.
Mm-hmm.
So we are on the guest link right now. And that's the guest link that only people who are going to be on the show as a guest. When I say guest, they're not a member, not a caller, just a guest on the show.
Mm-hmm. Like a subject matter expert.
Mhm.
Right. As far as people who are going to ask questions, they have that Zoom call number to call in if they want to call in live to the show, or they can put their questions in any of our social platforms. And that's where you, Drew, and I will come in and manage that and post it on the live show, because Streamio will integrate all of that together. And then that's where Kyle will, say the questions and answer the questions as he reads them. Does that make more sense?
I think that was all clear. I thought the original question was just, does she have the right link?
The right link.
Yes.
Like, that's it. I think she was just confused because there was a mention of the administrator link or whatever that is. She just wanted to make sure it was the correct one. That's what I believe
we're
the
in
question
production
was.
team. We're in the production team, so yes, that link is right. Either one of those would be right, actually. The administrative link or the guest link would be fine for Nene. So yes, the answer is yes.
And are they both hosted on like the Millinode or something, just so she knows where to find them?
It will always be the one that went out to you guys. It's going to be a static link.
Which is the one that?
Is
what
that
do you mean?
what
Via email? Did we get?
I just sent them that in Teams,
It's
but
the one that was sitting in Teams.
that may change. That may change that link. Well, okay. Yes, it went through Teams is where it's at, Drew. That's where I sent.
Yeah. So the one you sent earlier, that's what we're using for now. That's the only link we need to access this. I think.
Yeah. On
Okay.
Monday, that link may change.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like that was the question answered.
Okay. Got it.
But I want to reiterate, though, that the role that everyone is typically going to be playing, with the exception of you and myself, and the only reason I say that, everybody should know all of our roles. We should all know each other's roles. However, the way we initially had set this up was Drew was going to be running the Zoom. I was running this. Now we don't have Zoom. We're not using Zoom. So now I'm going to use him again from an admin side of, okay, Drew, I'll handle the Zoom folks. You handle pushing it to the thing. Like, we're going to work that detail out. And that can be worked out on game day. Drew, you got this. I got that. As long as we know what the roles are. Everyone else is moderators. Your role is to inform us if there's something that came in that we can't see because we're looking at something else, that we need to put that out. That might be something you could put that in the chat. You could tell me if we're in person. It'll just be easier. It's not going to be complicated for us at all. It's really going to be simple. It literally is. Whether we're here or whether we're all separated, it'll still be pretty easy. So I apologize for the confusion today, because it's a walkthrough of just all the technical stuff that we've been laying out and nuances. We literally just got Zoom phone set up this morning, in the sense of, well, really yesterday, but testing it this morning was the first day, because Shanara, I'm going to say Nene or Shanara. Shanara wanted to make sure her and Kyle, which I think is brilliant, that we have the ability for folks to leave messages and recordings. That's important, because if I see a live stream and it's like, oh, I wish I would have known, as we got in that wording, you could actually leave us a recording. We should be good. So, I hope that really kind of answers a lot of the technical stuff. So I just wanted y'all to see what the chat would look like. Now, as you can see, this is what it would look like if I just click to bring it out. You see what I'm saying? We could switch between the two. We could literally put the whole chat overlay in here. So every time a chat comes through, I'm gonna type
Is
something
that you,
else.
Halima?
Hmm?
Who's Halima?
That's Shanara's YouTube.
Oh, that's
I think.
Shanara? Okay.
Uh, Nene, I just sent something in our chat. Let me know if you could see it on the side. See how I have it? If you notice, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see it, right?
I can see it. On StreamYard. I see it on StreamYard.
Now this actually should refresh because it should be showing it there. There we go. Yeah, same thing. Like we should be able, if we wanted to put them out, you can see. You should have like even our audience can see our chats. If we want it, I got that turned on. It's called chat overlay, is what that is. It's,
I like that though. What that Shanara, like she that's through YouTube because you can see the icon.
Mhm.
That came through YouTube. So I'm assuming that if it's a Facebook comment, it'd have like the Facebook icon.
It would have the Facebook. Yes.
Right.
Yes. That is
So
100%
that
correct.
shows how many of our members are on social that are participating on this show. So it kind of shows.
Oh, we're gonna get analytics from this. That's the
Yeah.
other reason.
So that's great.
It's gonna
Yeah.
show us all of the analytics from our stream. It gives us a stream analytics.
Right.
To let us know how many people are on each platform. So we'll have some data for you that'll give us that too.
Yeah. Yeah. But just as a viewer, for example, it's like, oh wow, there's a lot of people on different social platforms that are interested in wanting.
That would be the only reason why I would recommend that we would put the chat overlay on. If we got a lot of engagement, let's go ahead and put it so people can see.
Yeah.
But if it's 1 or 2 or 3, maybe we'll show them the way like this.
Yeah.
Like we'll just show it like that rather than in the full stream.
Right. Yeah. I like it. I mean, we'll test it out and see, but you know, I'm really hoping this will become a successful show just because I feel like that's Kyle's realm. You know, he really likes to chat with our members. He really wants to be, you know, front and center and just like ask me, and he wants to showcase that at Afspa you can just talk to us, and we're giving you that opportunity now to kind of just talk to me if you have any questions you want to ask, kind of thing. And so that's sort of how we're going to market this so that they could feel like we're listening. And so I do like that, you know, this is an additional segment that we're adding to our podcast, where now that, like you said, if they're listening to our podcast and they want to just kind of have a question, or if like they're a new hire, we could do a segment on new hires. And it's like new, you know, what makes it different from other plans.
Yes.
And Nene, this is an opportunity for you to really market this to your HR reps so that they, you know, can tell their employees that this is another way to kind of generate that lead, you know, the new member generation, as far as like, okay, yes, this is initially the goal to kind of reach current members, but we have a lot of opportunity here to kind of do lead generation through like, hey, we're doing a new hire, a live event, you know, if you're new in the federal government and you have questions, call us and I'll be happy to answer your questions, kind of thing. And I think it'd be kind of cool. And I'm hoping that more people, as they know about this, will become engaged and ask questions and call and just participate. And I'm really hoping that it becomes successful because I know Kyle wants this to become a successful.
I think where we're going to see the benefit at, and again, it's pretty smart going to a live format for what we're doing, because remember, every time we go live on social platforms, they're pinging people, right? So even if they don't watch the whole show, it's been pinging them, and we're getting that data not just on the platforms,
but
also
on the social platforms.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
In our stream. So I think that just that alone is going to give us more bang for our buck. In my mind, I don't see no more than 2 people on the actual show
on the back end. Yeah, I mean,
Or
or even
maybe,
just as a guest. You mean?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like Kyle and a guest, or Kyle and a co-host and a guest.
Right.
Never anything. I mean, we can go 4, we can go more, but you see how it's
Nene,
right
I
now?
see also opportunity for us to invite our HR rep, for example, or to invite like our partners like Pinnacle Care, or you know, just even on this live show, this is like a lot of opportunities. So don't look at it just like, oh, it's just member education. You know, this is also an opportunity for us to gain membership. And I know that's, you know, one of the outreach and just our department goal overall is to gain new membership. So if you see the value in the product and if we all believe in this, then I feel like it will become successful. So we really all have to get on that same page and you know, so I know that today, you know, we hashed out a lot of things, which I think was helpful. There's some clarity that was good. You know, I'm getting more and more clarity on why we're doing this because like you, I had concerns about, you know, we do have our other priorities and our other tasks that we have to do. And because this is new, it's taking a lot of time. Like today, it's been, I don't know how many hours it's been, you know, but I just, you know, just so that you guys feel a little at ease that hopefully, you know, we want to do this for Kyle. I didn't know this was something that Kyle wanted either. And so knowing that makes it even more important for me to like really try and make this successful because if this is something that
it's not a Sam's idea. Sam came up with the way to execute the idea and to, you know, how we could do it, but not the concept. That came from Kyle. It's not me. It's if this is what you want to do and go live, this is how you have to do it based off of what you already had.
Right. So if it's a flop, it's a flop. If it's successful, it's successful. But let's try to lean towards.
I have no doubt.
Yeah.
I really have no doubt. In fact, I what's going to be shocking is, especially for what we're doing today, it's not going to be like this tomorrow.
Yeah. So
I brought this stuff in. Y'all can't use any of this gear for your personal. Because this is my personal. Gear. But I brought it in to show the capability of what can be done and literally to work out some of the nuances, right? Mm-hmm. Because again, just imagine Kyle is going to be home. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he's going to be in here. Mm-hmm. This is what I don't like. I don't like to have a guest or a co-host or a host in an environment that we can't control. As a producer, I produce a lot of broadcasts. Because if you, prime example, Adrian, every time I look at that video for the AIP, it pains me because she has all this headspace. And I can't unsee it. Right? So every time I look at it, it's like, it's headspace. Whereas from there, I know it needs to be cropped because it's just such a distraction. That's what I was saying by it would be this. You got like all of this is dope for a podcast. I mean, actually, that room that you guys have over there is probably better. Just because it's much more for Kyle. We don't need to be in it. We could be out literally in cubes looking at him. Hey, we need to peep in, but he could be in it by himself. So stuff like that, I just think it just makes it much more easier, but I understand the flexibility. Last thing I'll say about this, because we're really done. All I really wanted to show you guys, the moderators, was how it's going to flow and then that type of stuff. The technical stuff, we've been working it. We are working it. It will be good to go come game day. I'm not worried about that. To me, I always use walkthroughs as a way to test everything because I don't have the opportunity. Now imagine, you see all that we've been doing, right? Now imagine me doing that by myself. How am I listening to I'm running outside. I'm running back. All right, like literally, you need people to test.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary. I agree.
So that's why I said I apologize that it's taken a long time today, but it really is help. It's actually helpful. I learned a lot of stuff that I needed to know through what we just did, especially when it came to the audio. What's his name?
Carter
has been such a help. Just his presence, because he knows this room. He knows all. I don't know nothing about that. He knew that. I didn't know that. And how it needs to interact, because if you knew, I'm literally Bluetooth audio to that is what's playing. So the audio that you're hearing is Bluetooth to that, which when you look at what we're doing, I don't even know how that's possible, to be honest with you. I'm dead serious. When you look at I got audio routed everywhere. I got stuff on the floor. I got stuff here. Like, I don't know how it's still managing to send that out. And it's streaming. So to me, we're going to be fine. You see the stream. We heard the audio. We know the nuances. Tomorrow, when we do our dry run, you guys will have a link. I'm going to put it in the Millinode file, but I'll also send it in Teams tonight. That is the link for you to come in and do what it is you're going to do for as far as moderation. When we come tomorrow, whatever time you decide, I'm here. You tell me what time. I need to know that what time you want me to be here. So I know we got the meeting, but
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Because I know you were saying you might change a little bit on the time. Just let me know what that is.
Okay.
If that changes, and I'm flexible. I'm here just for you guys. I came in just to do this because I knew trying to explain this over to them. Imagine if I was in the doing thing like, no, I need you to.
So should we wrap up so that Nene and Drew,
Yes,
if
we're done.
we're done? Okay. So is there anything else that as a team,
Nope.
Drew,
I'm
as a
good.
production team, we need to?
I am all clear. Michelle, I think you should consider a career in moderation. That was a very good job. I don't know. That was a really good way to wrap up. I don't know. I just wanted to
Okay.
mention that. That was great summation.
Uh-huh.
Sam, I agree. I think, at least for myself, the technical questions and stuff like that cleared up. I'll look out for the link, and I look forward to tomorrow.
And Drew, I mean,
Mhm.
you are the best I mean, like, you are a trooper. You talked for like almost an hour, I think. I don't even know how long that was. We enjoyed every second of everything that you talked about. Oh my God, Sam said it's recorded, so we can go back and listen to it.
It's unethical behavior. I took the mandatory training this morning. I think that's unethical behavior.
No,
I don't
love
know.
your HP on the HQ on the PC and your little that was my favorite part. But thank you for that, Drew. We really appreciate you helping us on that side of trying to get the Zoom part to work.
Oh, yes.
And we thank everyone for their patience today.
Mhm.
The stream has been up for 3 hours. I just wanted to.
Hopefully you guys will never see the frayed edges of my brain like that ever again. But I hope you have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Oh, thank you. You too. All right.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna end the
Bye-bye.
call now. All right.
Thank you
Good
all.
Bye.
Thank you guys. All right, Nene, Drew, peace.
Bye.
Okay.
End this live, and we are wrapped.
All right.
Final thoughts.